I want to fight for the world title. I want to be a world champion. And in order to do that, I have to beat David Loiseau. And that's exactly what I plan to do.
Whoever fights me is in for a war, period. There's no such thing as a walk in the park with David Loiseau.
I'm going out there to get a dominant finish. And my goal is to go out there and knock David Loiseau out.
I found out I was going to fight Matt Hughes for the world title. First thing I thought was, I can't believe it. I'm going to be the world champ again.
BJ's big downfall might be his confidence.
Does Matt Hughes know BJ Penn is dangerous? He better.
Well, I think in the first round, BJ and know that things aren't the same.
Welcome back to the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim, world famous octagon. Once again, we are set to swim in the pond in front of 18,000 very passionate ultimate fighting fans. We are set tonight for a wonderful show. UFC 63, a title on the line in the welterweight division. The fans are ready, and it is great to be back here in beautiful Anaheim, California. As I said, jam-packed. This is the place to be on a Saturday night in the Golden State. It's all about the OC. A little bit later, it's all about Matt Hughes and BJ Penn. You know, it's never too early to start your UFC rise. Tyson Griffin is just 22 years old. Tonight, twin debuts as he welcomes the black belt Brit David Lee to the octagon. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Science. Lightweight matchup, Tyson Griffin, the American, 6 years younger than David Lee. Now look, he's much shorter, but the reach is identical. That is a huge factor in this bout tonight.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Steve Mazzagatti.
So we are set to get it going. Steve Mazzagatti will be our referee. There he is, Tyson Griffin, taking on the battling Brit, David Lee.
Bring it on!
The pond is alive, it's electric, and 155-pound weight class just continues to get more dynamic. Oh, big swing early by David Lee.
David Lee with a jumping knee. Oh, Tyson's got his back though. This is bad. He's got one hook. I can't tell if he's got both. It looks like he's got both hooks. He lost one. He's got it back. He's got his back.
Oh my, trying to finish it very early here.
This is a real bad spot for David Lee.
Tyson Griffin, very short, very explosive, extremely strong. Almost like a young Matt Hughes, at least from the pedigree of pure wrestling. And if he's patient here, Joe, he may be able to finish this very quickly by submission.
Well, David Lee is a very good submission guy himself. So we'll see.
Well,
Tyson has the body triangle on
It's
him.
funny, Joe, he has said David Lee before, pardon me, the only suit I have is a jiu-jitsu suit, so he's definitely spent some time on his back.
Yeah, for sure. You can see right now he's doing a good job of defending. He's controlling one of Tyson's arms, but he's not controlling he's got the choke one now. It's very hard to choke a good submission fighter with wearing those gloves. If a guy's good and he's not rocked and he's not in bad shape already, it's real hard to tap him out.
One thing to avoid the choke, how about the way he's got his legs so entangled upon his opponent? It's going to be hard to reverse out of that.
Yeah, that was what Eddie Bravo calls the anaconda. Oh, he's got it sunk in now.
Trying to finish it now.
Oh, this is bad.
The beginning of the end. Tyson Griffin trying to choke out David Lee.
It's hard to see where David's hand is, how deep he's got his hand protecting him. But Tyson Griffin is a pit bull. Oh, that's deep. That's deep. He's
And
tapping.
it's all over. It is all over. Impressive debut for Tyson Griffin, wins by rear naked choke.
Very, very impressive. Just complete control from the very get-go. Got his back, and that is all she wrote for David Lee. Tyson Griffin wins his UFC debut.
Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Steve Mazzagatti has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute 50 seconds of the very first round. For the winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke, Tyson Griffin.
It's the Ultimate Fighter 2 against the Ultimate Fighter 3, but now George Gurgel is healthy and hungrier than ever. And speaking of hungry, Danny Abadi has dropped down not one, but 2 weight classes. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Zions. A battle at 155 between the Brazilian George Gurgel and the Jordanian Danny Abadi. Both now live in the United States of America. Gurgel is 6 years older. He has a huge reach advantage. It will be interesting to see if he can utilize it.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee. Lightweight matchup of Ultimate Fighters from the reality show. Danny Abadi from Tough 3. George Gurgel from Tough 2.
You ready to fight? You ready? Come on.
And here we go. They touch gloves. Gurgel said he was almost too happy in his last fight. He wants to come out angry. Watch for that unorthodox ability, as Joe mentioned, though, with the Taekwondo man and Danny Abadi.
Danny is standing straight up. It doesn't look like he's anticipating George shooting at all. It looks like he's completely anticipating a stand-up fight.
Kick by Gurgel.
You see his posture, how he doesn't have any bend to his waist at all. That's a straight-up kickboxing stance. He's not prepared for. Oh!
High kick, pull guard. Abadi trying to overwhelm. Now this is where you said, though, Gurgel can be masterful.
Gurgel is a very accomplished Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and he for sure has an advantage here.
Look at the flexibility.
He's going for the rubber guard here.
Gurgel trying to work on Danny Abadi. Muay Thai kickboxing, as I mentioned, that Taekwondo, so not nearly as experienced on the ground. And George doing a great job of landing strikes from his back.
George is holding on to his right leg like that. What we might see is him try an omoplata shoulder lock. If you see him shove his right foot in front of Danny's face and roll his hips over to the side, he's let it go.
Close guard now. That knee sleeve you see on the right knee of George Gurgel is the result of the total reconstruction of his knee after the Ultimate Fighter 2. He said basically that knee's 95% bionic, Joe. ACL, MCL, LCLs, all from cadavers.
3 all in one knee.
Wow, screws in there. I mean, he has got the whole hardware store covered.
Yet that is still the leg he's using to pull up.
Gurgel on his back, but right now Abadi's almost in a defensive mode, even though he is within the guard. He has top position.
Yeah, Abadi's not doing anything from the top. He's just hanging on. And if I was him or his corner, I would be telling him to try to get out of there. He's up. He's going to stand him up. Herb Dean, excellent referee.
So they stand him up, and if you notice, once the striking started, Gurgel was the one who pulled guard. Oh, caught him with an uppercut. Abadi's really throwing a lot of uppercuts. The kick, and down goes Gurgel.
He slipped.
Yep, right back up. Caught him again.
Whoa.
Wow, this is just a slugfest. Stepping
George
in is George Gurgel.
Wading in, throwing punches.
With the
Good right hand by George. Knee by Danny.
Well, Danny is the longer of the two fighters, obviously. He's 5'11", Gurgel is 5'9", so those knees can come up in a hurry. Danny Abadi appears to be comfortable trading with George Gurgel. Watch the
big
uppercut.
right hand by George.
Yep.
George's got double underhooks here.
You could hear the corner of Abadi say, you know, use the uppercut again. That was something he landed a couple of times here already in round one. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Gurgel in the red trunks, Abadi in the green trunks.
Abadi got an underhook on the other side.
Any clinch and control would seem to be the advantage of George Gurgel. And down goes Abadi, but not for long.
Good job by Danny in staying on his feet. And we've seen this before. This is the kind of grueling, you know, back and forth. Oh, drops the guard. He's got an arm bar. That's tight.
With the arm bar. Can Gurgel get his first win?
Wow, good job by
Abadi. And out is Danny Abadi. Abadi was very relaxed there.
That was very close. And it shows you George is willing to take some crazy chances and jump on some things.
George with a couple of jabs that connected. Gurgel trying to find the distance. Pretty close in the first round. Abadi with the uppercuts.
Good good right hand.
Gurgel is swinging for the fences. Like
He's got
his
a
best friend
guillotine.
Rich Franklin, now looking for another submission.
He's got a guillotine up. You let it go.
Clinch, knee. Can he take him down? Danny Abadi striking and kicks.
Danny is holding his own so far. I thought he was going to be overmatched going into this fight, but so far that's not the case. George dropped down, held onto a leg. It looks like he's going for a leg lock. He's rolling. He's got a knee bar.
Final seconds are going to tick away here in round number one, Joe. We're going to head to round number two.
Very impressive defense by Danny Abadi.
Round one in the books, and Danny Abadi does not look as overwhelmed as you thought that may be the case to be.
I think Danny's much better off here at 155. He looks great.
Danny with a 14-1 pro kickboxing record. Amongst Danny's other talents, breakdancing. To the beat, y'all.
Did you really just say that?
I did. I remember those days. To the beat, y'all. Gurgel and Abadi, second round. Here from the Arrowhead Pond of
Left
Anaheim.
hook.
Both men are just swinging for that win.
Left hook by Gurgel, but a nice counter by Danny.
Who would you give the striking edge to at this point, Joe?
I would give a slight edge to George, but Danny is holding his own. I think George has landed a few more punches, but it's pretty close.
High kick.
George is pressing the action though.
That's the one thing he was very disappointed in, as I mentioned before. Hominick, as he said, was retreating. And no disrespect to Hominick, this is how Gurgel broke down the fight. But Abadi's standing right in there, and he's willing to exchange blows.
George just landed a little left hook.
Amazing though when you speak of a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt in this day and age of mixed martial arts who is this comfortable on his feet.
Well, he for sure is a real mixed martial arts fighter. I mean, like we said, he does train with UFC middleweight champion Rich Franklin, and you're not going to be a one-dimensional fighter training with that guy.
Instead of working his takedowns, George has really worked on his hands. Pace is slowed a little bit here in round number two.
Danny got hit a couple times there.
Danny's showing a bit of a chin here, taking some combinations from Gurgel, answering with the counter on frequent occasion.
What he's not doing is taking advantage of this significant reach advantage that he has. He's a much taller guy.
Came over at the age of 17 as part of a U.S. exchange program. Went to high school in Chicago. George said, you know what, he was way upper middle class, 2 housekeepers in Brazil, never really had to work too hard. Well, he had to come here and find himself a life if he wanted to stay in the U.S.
Another interesting thing about this fight is that Danny, even though he's a Taekwondo champion, is throwing no kicks. He's just punching here.
Is that
punching and moving away.
Is that the fear and respect, almost like Hominick of the takedown?
Probably, but I mean, that's got to be one of his significant weapons. And at a certain point in time, you got to recognize openings, and you got to use what you're good at. I guess his strategy is to try to just land punches and move away and avoid the submission. But in the punch exchange, George is being slightly getting the advantage. Oh, nice right hand right there by George, and a left hook right hand. Danny's showing a very good chin.
Well, Abadi began taking Taekwondo in Brooklyn, New York, was a black belt by the age of 8 years old, a Taekwondo child prodigy. Began teaching the sport at age 12, but like you pointed out, Joe, you spent a lot of time in the world of Taekwondo. There are some holes, although they have not been totally exposed here at this point.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been good knee by Danny, good right hands. I've been criticized for coming down on Taekwondo. I made my living with Taekwondo. I was US Open Taekwondo champion. I won the Massachusetts State Championship 4 years in a row. I'm the first person to tell you it's an almost useless martial art.
Dude, look at you though. You're like Randy Couture.
It's just silly. Like Randy? What?
Yeah, you were
I'm losing my hair? What are you talking about? That's about the only similarities.
There's the shoot. Good sprawl.
Very nice sprawl by Danny.
Avoidance thus far, but now he goes to his back, and this is a good position.
Let's see George to pass here. Look at Danny's right leg. George is going to get his body passed over that. If you see George's right knee, he's going to push down on Danny's leg, on Danny's left leg, and pass over his right knee. Good job by Danny so far in holding him into the guard.
Gurgel trying to win round 2. Round 1 may very well have gone his way. First time we have seen a body work from his back here in the matchup. Gurgel keeping very busy. He'd like to keep the fight right here, I think. At least for the next 20 seconds or so.
This is a weird little exchange, though. I would like to see George pass. I think George can pass his guard, and I think if George is in side control or the mount, I think Danny's going to be in deep, deep trouble. Now he's going to look to try to break the guard open. He's posturing up. He's going to probably try to slide a knee in between those 2 legs, because this is just not doing. No one's getting hurt here.
Round 2 is in the books.
George has stayed busy there and landed some punches.
Quentin Rampage Jackson kind of in the corner of Danny Abadi yelling out instructions. So everybody surrounds himself with the best. That's the way you get better. Gurgel in the red trunks, Abadi in the green trunks. Third and final round from the pond in beautiful Anaheim, California. Mike Goldberg, Joe Rogan, glad to be with you.
Well, we've seen Danny work off his back. We know he can hold on there, and I would like to see Danny throw some kicks. I mean, he is a Taekwondo guy. If he's got some advantage, that is his advantage. This corner's screaming at him here.
Well, at this point, Abadi's got to try to push the pace, and as you said, maybe become a bit more versatile.
Yeah, he's got to do something. I believe his corner has probably told him that he lost both rounds.
Would you agree with that?
Yes, I think he lost both rounds. I mean, they were close. It wasn't a nice left hook by Gurgel, but it's shots like that. He's not landing shots like that on George. George is landing much cleaner shots. Danny's just kind of moving away and jabbing.
See if George tries to set up the takedown again. It's interesting, George hasn't thrown a lot of kicks either. You always wonder after that knee was surgically repaired how it is during training and if everything's all good. And you know, I mean, once the bionics get in there, sometimes you are the $6 million man, and sometimes it breaks down on you.
Yeah, it all depends. It all depends on the rehab. It all depends. I mean, in jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts training in general, it's so brutal. I mean, you're always getting injured. And if you've got a knee that's weak, that's the weakest link in the chain. That's what's going to go.
I have sat by a fine commentator named Joe Rogan with a black eye from training jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, screws in both knees. You got it all.
Trying to go toe-to-toe. Again, though, it's Abadi in retreat mode. And that has to gain some more points for Gurgel. I think at this point, 3 minutes left, the body's got to swing for the fences, or he may very well lose a decision.
Yeah, definitely. He's not doing anything to win this fight. he's just moving away. I mean, if he's waiting for an opportunity to explode, now's the time. He doesn't have much time left.
And George continues to press forward. He does not want to leave it in the judge's hands. He was so frustrated by the decision going against him in the fight against Mark Hominick.
All right, now Danny's landing some shots. Good right hand by Danny. Again, George just keeps the pressure on him.
But not at a pace that would make you think that he knows he's in a desperation mode. No. Connection again by Gurgel. At this point, you got to get desperate, Joe.
He doesn't seem to be looking for the win. He seems to be content with doing good, with being, competent, moving away, landing some jabs, almost like this is a sparring match. Nice knee attempt by Danny, and he eats a right hand for it.
2 minutes remains in the third and final round.
George is doing the same thing every time. He's leading with a left hook, and he's connecting every time. Again. Now finally, George throws a kick.
High kick, goes down, does Gurgel, but Abadi says come right back up. Just over 90 seconds remains.
George is very tired now. You see he's pushing his punches. They don't have the same kind of snap they had earlier in the fight.
Well, you heard the corner of Abadi yell, you're losing the round, and he can't afford to lose the round. He can't afford to have this round be a draw. He has to win this round and win it big if he's got any chance. At least from our thoughts, Joe, on edging the round 1 and round 2, which may have gone to George Gurgel.
We've seen some horrible scoring in the past, but
notice how I say well and maybe and
off his jab. Come on.
We learned Rich Franklin, middleweight champion. Best friends with George. Caught him with the right.
Some shots there.
Yep. George stays up though.
George, look, follow. Hands up, get your hands up.
I think Rich has a harder time here on the sidelines with his buddy in there than he does if he were in there himself. It's a helpless feeling.
Good right hand.
Nice, go.
Good exchange. You hear Rich say go, go, go. Danny's got some good takedown defense. His training with Quentin Rampage Jackson has really paid off. He's done a really good job of keeping this fight on the feet. Unfortunately, when he's been there, he hasn't done much. A couple of knees inside of the body by Danny.
10 seconds remains. We will render the judge's decision. It is all over. It is all over, and we will work our way to the judges' scorecards.
All right, let's take a look at some of the action from that last round. Just going toe-to-toe at each other. George gets a clinch, and this is the takedown at the remaining last seconds of the fight.
Bruce Buffer has the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Ceaseless People scores the contest 29-28, Abadi. Nelson Hamilton scores it 29-28, Gurgel. And Alejandro Rochin scores it 29-28 for the winner by split decision, George Gurgel.
George Gurgel wins by split decision. From Brazil to England, Mario Neto has seen it all and conquered the majority. Tonight he debuts in the octagon against Eddie Sanchez, another UFC newcomer who takes this wonderful opportunity on very short notice. Heavyweight matchup, our tale of the tape is brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Science, the youngster and the older man. Mario Neto, 32 years old, the Brazilian, now fighting in England, as I mentioned. 9 years the elder of Eddie Sanchez. Neto is the much heavier fighter. Sanchez has the reach advantage.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Big John McCarthy.
The best in the business, Big John McCarthy, not surprisingly, assigned to this heavyweight fight. UFC debut for Eddie Sanchez and for Mario Neto, and here we go. Oh, yeah. Let's swing early. Let's see what happens. Neto, good control, takes down Eddie Sanchez, trying to force him towards the fence.
Yeah, we've seen this many times before.
See if he just simply tries to lift up his opponent and do it, and he, you know what, he got a little help there.
Sanchez uses the fence to stand up.
But
good job by Neto.
Neto trying to pass in that particular instance. He's in half guard now. Tried to wheel right over the guard there in transition. Neto on the top, Sanchez on his back. As I mentioned, though, Sanchez started in jiu-jitsu, so he is comfortable in that position.
Neto's looking to pass. When he's stepping up, he's posturing up. He's got one leg out. Now he's in half guard.
That being said, Joe, Sanchez with the jiu-jitsu, if you're grading on the jiu-jitsu chart, Neto's going to get the A's and Sanchez is going to get the B's or C's in this particular matchup.
We will see. I have not seen Sanchez's game before, but Neto comes highly touted for his ground skills.
Neto in the half guard. See if he can get that left leg out of the closed half guard of Eddie Sanchez.
He's using his left instep, or excuse me, his right instep right now to press down on Eddie's left leg. He's out.
Got it, yep.
He's got a head choke. He's got it. Whoop, let it go.
And
Slipped.
now he pulls guard. So now it's Eddie Sanchez in top position.
Now let's see his ground game off his back.
Neto 9-3 in his mixed martial arts career. Eddie Sanchez a perfect 7-0. Be interesting to see how Sanchez's cardio is, because he is going to try to force the action early, try to end the fight, I think, as quickly as possible, within reason, of course, because he may not be so certain he's going to be that great at minutes 12, 13, or 14, if indeed the fight does go that deep.
Absolutely, and we also have to factor in the octagon shock. UFC debuts tend to take a lot out of people's cardio. Back on their feet, this is good for Sanchez.
Sanchez came with a big right early, didn't come even close to connecting, but he did as expected, same as he did there, try to set up a strike and try to swing for the fences. That's that right cross, which is what he considers his best weapon. High kick, swing and a miss. Green trunks being sported by Sanchez. Neto in the blue trunks.
Good right hand by Neto.
Neto came over the top.
Presses him up against the cage.
See if he tries to sweep the leg. Inside knee to the right leg of Sanchez. Sanchez just pushes Neto away. Now is he going to rain a haymaker here? Tried to. And try to tee it up again. You don't want to miss with one of those and hit the octagon floor, though. You'll break your hand right open.
Yeah, that's something that boxers don't really have to worry about.
That is very true.
Nice leg kicks.
Boxers don't have to worry about those kicks either.
No, and those take a lot out of you.
All right, up you go, says Eddie Sanchez.
Time, I want you to step to the corner right there. Time.
John McCarthy's going to reset.
He's off your nose. Where'd it go? Okay. Turn around.
Checking the mouthpiece. All is well. We continue. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Heavyweight matchup here at the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim.
Sanchez looks like he's gaining confidence, in my opinion, and Neto looks a little frustrated.
Neto's been on top. Neto's been on his back. Sanchez led him back to his feet.
Leg kick by Neto.
Exchanging again. Oh, good jab
by Sanchez.
Yeah, I think Sanchez is starting to feel, you know on paper, you might watch a man's tape, Joe, you kind of think, all right, I'm okay, dude, I'm in good shape, I can outstrike this guy, but honestly, as you well know, until you get in there and start to do it and pick your opponent apart, you're truly not sure you can outstrike your opponent.
And like we said, Sanchez is coming into this fight on short notice, and we're not sure how hard and how often he had been training up to this.
Do something with it.
30 seconds remains in round number 1.
Do something with it. Stop it right there. Stop it right there. Let's go. Let's move it apart. Let's move it apart.
Move them apart again. And at least as it seems thus far, every time they move them apart, the advantage goes to Eddie Sanchez, at least for now. Haven't seen much striking out of Neto at this point, but if he's with Bisping and Freeman, he's working everything just like all our fighters.
Sanchez is very confident in that right hand. You could see as he wades in.
First round in the books.
Come on, guys.
Good leg kick by Neto. Oh, big right hand.
There's
Eddie
the big
Sanchez.
right hand. It is all
Wow. Eddie Sanchez said that if he lands that right hand, anyone's going to sleep. And man, was he right.
Eddie Sanchez is not a liar. He does have a lethal right cross. Good
Very
night, Mario
fast.
Neto.
Very fast and very explosive.
Wow.
An excellent killer instinct.
Ladies and gentlemen, John McCarthy is called to stop to this contest at 17 seconds of the second round. For the winner by knockout, Eddie Sanchez.
El Matador, Roger Huerta, burst onto the UFC scene, courtesy of UFC veteran Dave Monet. His opponent, another newcomer, Jason Dent, has been training in karate for nearly half his life. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Science. Lightweight matchup, 2 Americans, Roger Huerta, just 23 years old, 3 years younger than Jason Dent, about an inch difference in the reach. Both come in at under 156 pounds.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Steve Mazzagatti.
Steve Mazzagatti, our referee, lightweight debut for Roger Huerta and Dynamite, Jason Dent.
All right, here we go. You ready? You ready? Bring it on.
Let's see how much like a Miletich fighter Huerta looks like.
Mike, I was just informed by UFC matchmaker Joe Silva that those the tapes on his arm are all from injuries he sustained from training with Matt Hughes.
Wow. Yeah, Matt Hughes is good. Sorry. He really
Nice
is.
uppercut by Huerta.
Coming forward.
Jason Dent looks like he's in a little bit of trouble here. Nice knee on the inside by Dent.
Dent trying to work it as well. El Matador working the knees with the clinch. Another knee.
Another nice knee.
Oh,
Good hands.
Trying to finish it early. He's got his opponent up against the fence. Does Huerta.
He's looking for that underhook.
Jason Dent, good enough
Right hand
at
by-
striking to force the fight to the ground, which what I mean is if he can strike with Huerta a little bit, he can try to get down to the ground.
Nice knee. Huerta's very good on his feet.
Yep, Huerta very sharp, as we kind of suspected, Joe, and as you well knew. Now, wrestling is Huerta's base.
Ooh, nice spinning back kick by Jason Dent.
So Dent
that might
has
have
an
hurt
answer.
Huerta.
And now it is down to the
Guillotine.
ground. And into the closed guard. Huerta top position, Jason Dent, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu background. He has won the majority of his fights by submission. 12-6 overall in his mixed martial arts career. Black belt in karate. Has some Muay Thai titles, has an MMA title in a smaller show.
Dent is doing a really good job. Oh, look at that.
Oh my.
Just picks him up.
Oh, and
slams
throws him into
against
the fence. Usually we see the
And
slam
he
to
takes
the
him out.
ground.
And he took the mount here.
So this could be the beginning of the end with great control with the mount and with his opponent up towards the fence. Can he keep the position?
It was the most creative passing of the guard I've ever seen. Slamming a guy up against the fence and past his guard.
Can he keep the top
Good
position,
job by
though?
Dent.
Yeah, Dent's a little slippery there.
He's keeping the top position, but Dent is doing a real good job of putting him back in guard.
Got him in half guard here.
He's also doing a real good job of avoiding any too much punishment. He's tying his arms up and using his hips, and he's doing a good job of holding Huerta off.
Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Lightweight battle here at the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim. There's one that connected. Huerta trying to deliver the big right. Aha. Dent says bring it on, baby. Got to watch that leg on the way up.
Dent's doing a very good job of avoiding punishment here. Huerta's pushing the pace, and he keeps throwing punches and kicks, but Dent so far hasn't taken too much damage. And that's indicative of a lot of mixed martial arts experience.
Started training in karate at the age of 13.
Watch your head,
did
watch
Jason
your head
Dent.
on that up kick.
And he heard from the corner, just as I kind of alluded to, you got to watch your head on that up kick. Can't kick a downed opponent, but the downed opponent can kick you if you're up.
Jason Dent doing a good job here off his back. He looks very composed. Got to full guard again.
UFC debut. Looked like Huerta had a nice position there, but Dent was able to avoid it and get out of it very quickly. Has himself back in a better position on his back.
Dent's shifting his hips to the side. We haven't seen him try a submission off his back yet, but it looks like he's looking for things. He's controlling wrists. He's doing a very good job defensively.
Come on, let's make it work. I'll stand you up.
Mazzagatti gives the warning, if they don't keep it busy on the ground, the fight will be stood up.
If you notice Dent's legs, he keeps riding him higher and higher up Huerta's back. So he's trying to secure a triangle. He's got one leg open, and good job by Huerta, used it to pass. And Dent, very slippery, spins right back around. He eats some punches, but he gets back to a better position.
Okay.
Huerta wants it on his feet.
All right, it is on its feet.
Interesting little chess match here.
Coming forward is Dent.
Dent is no joke here.
High kick was blocked neatly. Straight kick now.
Dent is now pushing the pace. Good uppercut by Dent. Again, he tries that spinning back kick and
that
then
one
falls
wasn't
down.
close though. Yeah, that's going to put him in a bad position. Side control for Roger Huerta. First one worked, Joe. That one worked against him.
Yeah, the first one he actually landed nice. He got a pretty good impact out of it. This one you're going to look for Huerta to do that patented Jeremy Horn push-off elbow.
He didn't land it David Loiseau, Charles McCarthy nice though.
No, not quite.
That was unbelievable.
There's the elbows. Here they come. Dent's got to do something to get out of that spot.
Huerta doing a nice job of keeping busy here in round number one.
Very entertaining first round for these two UFC debut fighters.
We're set for round number two. Jason Dent against Roger Huerta.
You ready? Bring it on.
Getting set for round two. Mazzagatti signals that it is underway. Down
Huerta
goes
coming out
Dent.
throwing bombs.
Got to slide his man towards the fence again.
Huerta looks like he's really picked up the intensity in this round.
Lift and move.
Oh, big
got
right
him there. Yeah. One of those can end the fight. Got to be careful of that arm. Can't expose it too much though. Submissions happen as lightning fast as knockouts do in this game.
And you see Dent as he's moving his leg up and down the fence here. Locking the hold of one of Huerta's arms.
Now bring the side. Side go.
Got to continue to stay busy on the ground, and Huerta's doing a good job now. He's working the midsection, then going up top. Midsection up top.
Good elbows too.
Dent does not seem to be handling the pressure and the persistence of Huerta as well here in round two as he did in round one. Not that ultimate damage is being done, Joe, but it just seems like he's being controlled a little bit more.
Yeah, it seems like Huerta's really picked up the pace. And he's moved into half guard now. Better position for Huerta to land some strikes. Good job by Dent bringing it back to full guard. Good elbows by Huerta inside, and Dent's head is trapped up against the fence there. These could really do some damage. See, Dent is constantly moving his hips, but
got him there. But Huerta says, all right, I can't, you know what, I don't know if Huerta at one point is going to get frustrated that he can't finish the fight on the ground, but they stand him back up again.
well, Jason Dent is he's very experienced. He's very composed. I'm impressed with his composure under this kind of firepower. Good uppercut.
Yeah, another uppercut. Missed on that one. Came over the top with the left.
Huerta's relentless.
Oh, man. Very versatile with his strikes. Got to be careful with the knee there. Huerta buried the head so it wouldn't get snapped.
Nice takedown by Huerta. Good control of the legs. He's looking to pass. Good job by Dent keeping him from passing. Now they're in Dent's full guard, and we're back to the same spot, and I imagine we're going to see Huerta try to push Dent up against the fence again.
You know, different than some fighters who are late replacements, though, Joe, as I mentioned, is Dent took the octagon. He was a late replacement, but coming off a big win in which he wasn't damaged, so he was already in good shape, ready to go, ready to rumble, but I don't know if he's ready for all of this.
And that also, you know, coming off a big win like that, you're calm and more relaxed with the idea of fighting. He's an experienced fighter. He's got 18 fights.
Same number of fights as Huerta, ironically, but Huerta, the much better record at 16-1-1. Sitting up high in the guard, really almost like an axe punch. Haven't really seen this technique before.
Well, he's definitely setting him up. When you see him drop that punch, he's just looking for him to react.
The minute he moves those hands to the midsection, it's about blasting right through.
Good job by Dent. Nice sweep. Very nice. Butterfly guard to sweep. And Huerta recovers.
Right back we go. Nice transitions.
Yeah, Dent made a fatal mistake of letting Huerta get some weight underneath him.
Past the midway point of this fight, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. UFC debuts for Roger Huerta in the top position in the camouflage shorts. Jason Dent has seen the bottom position for the majority of the fight.
Yeah, I bet Jason Dent would like to have that sweep over again. If he had just stayed glued on top of Huerta, but he gave him some space and Huerta exploded out of it. But at least he knows he can sweep him.
Huerta made his way through a lot of small cards on Indian reservations and really credits a lot of his inside strength to Joe Ramirez, his English teacher who adopted him after his senior year.
Good shots by Huerta.
Huerta has seen it all. And you know he has the instinct to be a great fighter. And really pushing forward here. Wants to be entertaining, wants to be exciting.
Good takedown.
Upbeat and positive guy. Really, when you talk to him, Roger Huerta, for a young man who's been through so much. You know, we've seen athletes that have been through a lot. You know they had tough upbringings, and you can see it in their eyes, almost an emptiness. You don't see that with Huerta. You see a giddiness. It's a very refreshing giddiness that the 23-year-old has. Very confident, I would think, that the worst days of his life are behind him.
Yeah, cage fighting's got to be nothing compared with this.
I'll tell you what, age 12.
Oh, and Dent was rolling right into an omoplata right there.
Third and final round. Huerta should be ahead on the judges' scorecards after 10 minutes. Dent has been in survival mode. Here we go. 5 minutes remains. Is Dent going to come out more aggressively here? Trying to size up Roger Huerta.
Ooh, good body kick by Huerta. Nice inside leg kick.
Yeah, absolutely. And another kick, so Huerta really utilizing the kicks here. See if he can set up his hands with it. Uppercut connected, flying knee, no. Good exchange here.
Dent just keeps pushing forward, though. That dude is game.
Tried with the flying knee again.
Huerta's got a leg.
Matador's going to take it back down. That was a much more aggressive striker and striking display by Jason Dent there in that exchange.
What was really impressive is that under Huerta's firepower, he just stayed calm, stayed in the pocket, and kept delivering his own strikes. He's got it to full guard. He's a very slippery veteran, that Jason Dent. Good test for Roger Huerta.
And you know what? You wonder who the next stars are going to be. And it's nice when you see someone display some, I guess, signs of stardom, Joe, but you don't learn much when they just roll through somebody. You want to see them be tested even in their UFC debut.
Yeah, this is a good test for Roger Huerta. I mean, it's a good test for Jason Dent, too. I mean, we can't count him out yet. The guy has good submissions, and anything can happen in this game. We've seen it a million times before, but so far it looks like Roger Huerta is imposing his game on Jason Dent.
They stand him up with 3.5 remaining in the third and final round. Dent's going to have to swing for the fences. He does with a spinning back kick. Nothing there. Straight kick by Huerta.
Jason Dent just keeps swinging.
Ducking under nicely. Sprawls out. El Matador trying to bring it in. We're in Los Angeles.
Nice body shot by Jason Dent. And a nice knee by Huerta.
Now they're pushing the pace.
Right hand by Dent. Another right hand by Dent. Another one.
He's ducking under and he's comfortable with Huerta up against the fence. Now Huerta gets out of that unenviable position. The knee again. Dent was really hanging over, almost out of gas there. He's coming lower and lower and lower.
Roger Huerta looks like he's fading a little bit here.
Huerta's dropping the hands, Joe, big time.
But he gets the takedown.
Which is good because his hands were right by his sides.
Going for a triangle.
Looking to finish, and slippery indeed was Roger Huerta.
Jason Dent is doing a real good job of keeping Roger Huerta in his guard. Every time he makes a mistake, he just gets those hips underneath him again.
That's all right. That elbow's good. Come on. Fight on.
Huerta complained there of what he thought was an illegal elbow. Don't know why. Dent's rolling over here. Huerta's got to be a little frustrated that he can't pass Dent's guard. He's securing a triangle. He might be able to get it here.
Can he finish it?
Nope, slip right out.
Nice job by Huerta. So Dent looking for it. He's swinging for the fences, as I mentioned before.
So hard this late in the game. These guys are covered with sweat.
And the fatigue is a factor too, isn't it?
Definitely, definitely. Especially in a fight like this where he's constantly using his legs and constantly switching his hips.
Under 90 seconds remains in the third and final round. Lightweight fight here from the Pond in Anaheim. The Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim. Mike Goldberg, Joe Rogan, UFC 63. Now this is more like what Roger Huerta wants.
Yeah, Jason Dent's got to do something here. He's taking some shots.
Good heart shown by Jason Dent. Still a collegiate student at Augsburg College, majoring in business management. Roger Huerta, 23 years old, so young. Trying to make a splash here in the UFC. Looks like he is on his way to a debut win inside the octagon against fellow lightweight and fellow newcomer Jason Dent. 30 seconds remains.
Again, you see Dent keeps throwing his legs up, looking to secure a submission, but every time he does, Huerta passes. Huerta's got the mount now.
This should secure the unanimous decision win. The end of this round should leave no doubt in anyone's mind that Roger Huerta will win his UFC debut.
Except maybe Dent's girlfriend.
Excellent point.
Or mom.
Or mom. Grandma.
Good fight. Very, very entertaining fight between these two young newcomers.
We'll see what the judges say. Bruce Buffer has the decision to see who will win here in Anaheim. Will it be Huerta or will it be Dent? Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Roger El Matador Huerta.
Not surprising at all that Roger Huerta wins by unanimous decision. Jens Pulver, the UFC's only lightweight champion, has returned, ready to dispose of newcomer Joe Lauzon on his climb back to the top. Our tale of the tape brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Science. The former world champion is 31 years old. He gives up a huge amount of reach, though, to the 22-year-old making his debut, Joe Lauzon. You know that Jens wants to swing, but it could be dangerous while he tries to get inside.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee. The beautiful and lovely Ariani, set to get this started. Little Evil, Jens Pulver, Joe Lauzon. First fight of the night here at the Pond. Former champion, welcome back home. Lauzon has that reach advantage, goes for the shoot.
Wow.
Nice
Lauzon
job
gets
by
him
Lauzon.
down. Very, very impressive. Jens Pulver's got some sick takedown defense. He might have just caught him slipping there.
Lozon shot in quickly, so perhaps Lozon wants nothing to do with exchanging fists with Jens Pulver, which might be a wise decision.
It's definitely a wise decision, and Jens is doing a good job of standing up.
Jens is up, but not totally. Back down. Lozon stayed in pursuit of that leg. Pulver's up again, and he pushes away. Pulver can explode with the left hand. If you don't believe it, ask John Lewis. Down goes Pulver
Good
again.
knee, but Lozon again, a left hook.
Goes
Jens is out.
And
he's out. Unbelievable.
It is over. Joe Lozon has upset Jens Pulver.
That is the biggest upset of the night. Jens Pulver was a 7-1 favorite for this fight. Wow. Joe Lozon just bringing it on. Unbelievable. Wow. I think Jamie Presley's face says it all. Wow. I mean, that is impressive. Man.
Wow.
Jens Pulver might have taken Joe Lozon lightly. Let's take a look at this. Jens slips here.
It's the knee, isn't it, Joe? Yeah,
It doesn't.
the knee.
It looks like no. It's the left hook.
The left, yeah, it was
the
the
left
left,
hook.
yeah, absolutely.
The knee missed. The left hook, and Jens is out. Wow. What a huge victory for Joe Lozon.
Bam.
Left hook. That's it right there. Very, very impressive.
Crazy sport that we have here called the UFC. That's why they fight. Congratulations, Joe Lozon, shocking the world with the victory over Jens Pulver, utilizing his reach advantage. Wow, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 48 seconds of the very first round. For the winner by TKO, Joe Lozon.
Unbelievable upset. Moving on, the heavyweight king of the Ultimate Fighter 2, Rashad Evans, is proven to be a force at 205. Tonight he collides with Jason Lambert, and the Punisher has been living up to his moniker, beating up his opponents blue-collar style. Our tale of the tape for this light heavyweight matchup is brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from science. Rashad Evans from the Ultimate Fighter 2 is 3 years younger than the Punisher. Jason Lambert, everything else is almost identical.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Big John McCarthy.
The beautiful Rochelle Leah gives a wave to all our fans all over the world watching tonight on pay-per-view.
All right, here we go. You ready? You ready?
Great light heavyweight matchup here. Rashad Evans, Jason Lambert. We are underway. The Punisher has been finishing men. Rashad Evans has been criticized for always going to decision. But then again, you got to have a little wherewithal, a little guts, and some great cardio to go the distance here in the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
And he does have that for sure.
This is by far, though, Joe, and I know you agree, the toughest test to date for Rashad Evans.
Yes, I think it's the toughest tape for both of these guys, except for, like I said, the times where Jason Lambert fought as a heavyweight, where he fought Tim Sylvia. He's just too small for that division. But at 205, yes, this is his toughest test.
And as you know, in the criticism on Evans, if it does go late, the longer a fight goes, the longer the risk is for both fighters. Because things can end very quickly. If you don't believe that, ask Joe Lozon and Jens Pulver. Good takedown by Evans, the former wrestler at Michigan State.
Lambert pushing him up against the cage. Good job by Rashad. Rashad is so athletic. Tough for a lot of guys to deal with. Jason eats a right hand and a couple more.
Now it looks like Rashad Evans doesn't want this going very deep today. Good
Jason's
pace that he
going for
shoots
Kimura.
early. Jiu-jitsu is very good. The jiu-jitsu possessed by Jason Lambert.
If he can lock, look, he lost it.
Rashad Evans really staying all over the back of Jason Lambert right now. Pretty relentless. Lambert gets back up, no punishment.
Lambert's doing, he ate some punches, but he's doing a good job of moving. Rashad's got a hold of him, he's going for a ride.
Good takedown, Rashad Evans.
Rashad's got side control.
Rashad has said, and has said since day one, very similar to Diego Sanchez when he was on the Ultimate Fighter 1, Joe. Some guys will be you know, him and Han about just an opportunity. I need to get better, kind of like Kendall Grove just talked about. But Rashad Evans since day one said, I will be the world champ.
Well, he for sure has the body for it. Incredibly athletic guy, very explosive, and he's got a great wrestling background.
That will be
Jason's got that arm, but he's trapped in side control. What he's got to do now is got to guard. He's got to get either half guard or full guard, something. He lost it. That was a very good spot, though. All he needed to do there was somehow lock a hold of Rashad's body, whether in a half guard or a full guard, so he can control his body and try to submit that arm.
Rashad with side control here. Let's see if he tries to get the mount.
Jason's going to try to slowly snake his legs back under him.
Rashad Evans very relentless here. Good pace, as I mentioned, a little north-south for a second. Lambert is back up. Is he out, though? Yeah.
Needs a knee.
Nice job done by Jason Lambert. He's so stocky and powerful. I mean, different body types. Obviously, Rashad very lean down, and Lambert is still a big, big boy at 205. And you know coming in that Lambert's not 205 anymore.
No, he looks a lot heavier than that.
Rashad with good combinations. Rashad's cardio seems off the charts, at least so far. Now, you never know if we're going to see a fighter gas, but so far, his pace, I think, is better than the paces we have seen him set in earlier fights.
Well, I know he's been training down at Greg Jackson's camp in New Mexico with Diego Sanchez, Keith Jardine, and all those guys, and you know, anybody that comes out of that camp's got to have excellent cardio.
He was very dominant in his upset when many believed it was an upset over Stephan Bonner. Now, this is the first pay-per-view appearance for Rashad Evans, but millions have watched him reign supreme on The Ultimate Fighter.
And Jason Lambert working for the takedown now. He's got Rashad's leg. Let's see if he can finish it up.
Rashad able to block the punch while the leg was in the arms of Jason Lambert.
Great takedown defense by Rashad.
Wow, great job done by Rashad. Will he get the takedown himself?
I bet he will.
Yep. Good first round by Rashad Evans.
That athleticism is just so hard to deal with. Rashad is so explosive.
You know, you kind of get the feeling with Rashad Evans, if he wanted to play football, he would have been an All-American wide receiver. If he wanted to play hoops, he would have been an All-American point guard. I mean, he's got that type of athleticism, similar to a Josh Koscheck, similar to even a Melvin Gillard, who's going much younger but going to fight here tonight.
And on top of that, he's also got dedication and intelligence, and that's a winning combination.
Psychology major at Michigan State University. Everybody wants a shot at Tito and Chuck at 205, especially Chuck, obviously, the most dominant fighter in the UFC at 205 pounds. First round definitively belongs to Rashad Evans. Second round set for Lambert and Evans. There's Lambert. And Rashad Evans, a great first round.
All right, here we go. You ready? You ready? Let's get it on. Come
Set
on.
for the second round.
All right, Jason Lambert's got to do something. Good right hand by Rashad, and then quick takedown.
I wonder if this is going to be a case, Joe, of Rashad being able to out-athletic, if you will, because of that great athleticism on Jason Lambert.
He's done it so many times in the past. He did it to Stephan Bonner. I mean, he's just he's a very gifted athlete.
On top of Lambert again, this time in the closed guard, so no side control. Interesting, he really couldn't do a whole lot in side control before, did not try to pass to the mount. And remember, Lambert, though, is a blue-collar guy. Very strong, doesn't mind grinding it out. Still works at the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department teaching firearms and defensive tactics. And unfortunately for Lambert and his fans, he has been in the defensive mode for the majority of this fight thus far. Oh, Rashad faked like he was going to be up, tries to grab the neck, but Lambert's still able to crawl away, but he crawls towards the fence.
Yeah, it looks like if Lambert's going to get some sort of a submission, he's going to have to get it off his back. He's securing Kimura here. He's yanking it up. If he can just get guard or half guard or something where he can lock a hold and control Rashad's body, he might have something here.
Evans doing a great job of using his wrestling skills, mixing it in with the new skills he is learning in Albuquerque, New Mexico, with Greg Jackson and Keith Jardine, Diego Sanchez, of course. Nicely done so far by Rashad Evans.
He got that arm free, and Jason is putting the pressure on him, but you see Rashad is just so light on his feet, moves so quickly, it's tough for Jason to get anything going here. And again,
down
boom,
he goes
takedown.
again. Good,
right to
solid
side
takedown,
control.
side control, and he's got the mount.
Very nice.
And plenty of time to work with it here in the second round.
Jason Lambert's taking some big shots. That's it. He's gone.
And this fight is all over.
Wow.
Rashad Evans finishes Jason Lambert in the second round.
Jason had taken a couple shots earlier. Wow, Jason had taken a couple shots earlier and then finished the job.
Hello, world. I do have the ability to finish. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John McCarthy has called a stop to this contest at 2 minutes, 22 seconds of the second round. For the winner by knockout, Rashad Evans.
Up now, our lightweight bout. The young assassin has the raw skills and style to someday rule the lightweight division. Melvin Guillard is prepared to provide Gabe Rudiger with a rude welcome into the UFC. Our tale of the tape for this lightweight matchup is brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Zions. The young assassin Melvin Guillard is 5 years younger than the UFC newcomer Godzilla, Gabe Rudiger. Rudiger has a 2-inch reach advantage. Explosive to say the least is Melvin Guillard.
And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee. Lightweight matchup tonight here in Anaheim. UFC 63. Rudiger against the young assassin, Melvin Guillard.
Come on.
And here we go. Wow, did Guillard rip through Rick Davis in his last UFC contest.
Nice body kick by Guillard and great takedown.
Come on, here we go. You want to talk about a brash personality on Team Franklin on The Ultimate Fighter 2. He lost to Josh Berkman by unanimous decision in the first fight of the second season. Ended up becoming best friends with him and training partners. Now he's branched out from Utah, Team Punishment, and you almost feel like you better just watch out if you're calling a Melvin Guillard fight, because he can explode like he did on Davis, and this fight could be over almost instantaneously.
Yeah, he is so fast. And Gabe Rudiger's eating some elbows here.
We had a shocker at 155 to open the night. Joe Lozon, shocking the world, defeating Jens Pulver. This one might not last very long. Gabe continues to rain elbows like that, Joe.
Gabe Rudiger's hanging in there. He grabbed a hold of a leg.
One thing we know, though, the propensity to happen.
He's hurt. He's hurt badly.
That could be the beginning of the end. Guillard has the propensity to get a little bit overconfident.
Gabe's got hard. He's hanging in there.
Remember, he was in control against Josh Neer.
Oh, you see that just switch of the weight right there, and just Melvin just tosses him down to the ground.
Good job done by Melvin Guillard. 38-6-3 at only 23 years old.
Good body kick by Guillard, but Gabe took him down from it, but he let him get back up to his feet.
Guillard trying to explode. As you mentioned, mentioned, nice job done by Rudiger. Now he's kind of nullified and neutralized the attack of Gillard by working in the clinch.
Well, he's showing a lot of heart. I mean, the guy was in big trouble. He's been tossed around, but he's hanging in there. And now he's throwing some knees up against the fence.
And the longer a fight lasts, the better both men have a chance of winning. Wow, he has got a mouse on the left temple, though. A huge mouse on the left temple of Gabe Rudiger. Oh, he tried to come forward with an elbow, but he ate the hand, as you said. Rudiger didn't throw the fist there. He tried to throw the forearm. He tried to throw the elbow, David Loiseau style. Loiseau and Swick still ahead in a great co-main event tonight in the middleweight division. And then our main event is still ahead tonight here at UFC 63. Matt Hughes and BJ Penn. Spinning away is Gillard.
Yeah, Gabe went for an omoplata and Gillard just rolled right out of it. When Gabe is standing, when they're exchanging punches and kicks, Gabe still looks a little shaky on his feet. I'm not sure if that's just the way he normally moves, but his legs look a little shaky.
Well, Gillard came out with a lot of enthusiasm early, but the pace has certainly slowed here in round number 1 of this lightweight matchup.
Well, we saw in Gillard's fight with Josh Neer, Gillard had Neer in all sorts of trouble, had Neer badly cut, and Neer weathered the storm and wound up finishing the fight by triangle choke. I'm sure Gabe's seen that fight, and I'm sure he probably believes that if he can keep this fight going, he can wear Melvin Gillard out.
Wow, good takedown defense, but only momentarily. Good shoot for the double leg.
Side control by Gabe.
Flat mount for Gabe Rudiger.
Gabe Rudiger
has the mount on Melvin Gillard.
Now this, if we've seen any weakness in Melvin, is when the fight doesn't go his way and he starts getting dominated, he kind of falls apart a little bit. Gabe's got the body triangle. He doesn't just have his back, he's got a body triangle locked in. And Melvin's in a lot of trouble here.
Oh my, we've already had one shocker at 155. Are we in store for another one? Or can Gillard escape? Great perseverance on that takedown by Rudiger.
That body triangle is keeping him in that position. Melvin can't rotate his body to get out of there. Melvin's doing a good job right now of holding on to the gloves and keeping his arm from sneaking across his neck.
He's going to be saved by the bell, though, Joe.
Wow.
Saved by the bell.
Still, though, that has got to give Gabe Rudiger a lot of confidence.
Second round, Rudiger with a great opportunity to try to finish it at the end of the first round. And you know, what surprised me, I think, more than anything in the first round, Joe, was how Gillard's pace slowed. He came out explosive like we would expect with this superior athlete, but then he kind of just got lulled into Rudiger's pace.
Well, it may be that, you know, Melvin has lost a lot of weight to get down to 155 pounds, and he might be a little weakened by it. He's huge for 155.
I know the last time he cut to 155 in his first fight at 155 against Rick Davis, he literally had to move in with his longtime wrestling coach, Warren Donnelly, and live with him to keep him away from the Orioles, keep him away from anything, and feed him properly to get down to 155.
Well, now that he's training with Tito Ortiz, I mean, nobody knows weight cutting like Tito. Gabe Rudiger just leaning forward, trying to get a hold of him.
Still waiting for Gillard.
Oh my goodness, body punch.
Over.
Wow, stopped him with a body punch.
Wow, Melvin Gillard finishes the fight.
Right hand to the solar plexus. I mean, that's what we're saying about Melvin. You can't even blink, because this guy can explode and finish the fight at any time. Wow, I don't remember ever seeing that before.
And the young assassin wins again at 155 pounds. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Team punishment, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this bout at 1 minute, 1 second of round number 2. For the winner by TKO, Melvin, the young assassin, Gillard.
Title on the line later tonight, Matt Hughes and BJ Penn, but first, two men who believe they can fight for the title again or for the first time in the middleweight division at 185 pounds, David Loiseau and Mike Swick. I'll tell you one thing, Mike Swick throws punches in bunches. David Loiseau can open you up and end a fight
in a single punch. So is tonight the night the crow flies again, or does Swick continue his meteoric rise for a title shot at 185 pounds?
One elbow and he's cut back. Best elbows in the game. Right there, David Loiseau.
I think Loiseau has knives for elbows, and because I don't want to lose a fight, period. I especially don't want to lose a fight over a cut.
And down goes Gideon Mike Quick Swick.
Wow.
Whoever fights me is in for a war, period.
I want to fight for the world title. I want to be a world champion. And in order to do that, I have to beat David Loiseau, and that's exactly what I plan to do.
He's the biggest fight of my life. I don't need to hear "let's get it on" to get it on. I just need to see my opponent in the cage with me. That's it. I love it.
See Swick going quick. Shot down.
He's
and
out.
it is all over. It is all over.
Out swinging.
As predicted, Mike Swick.
I'm going to win the fight. I'm going to finish the fight. I'm going out there to knock David Loiseau out.
I'll fight Swick anywhere. Anywhere. Stand up, clinch, ground, anywhere.
I'm very confident, very hungry to get in there and make the most of the opportunity and send a message to the top that I'm coming.
I'm not gonna look past him or disrespect him.
And I'm gonna put the pressure in his face. I'm gonna be explosive, I'm gonna be powerful, and the most aggressive you've ever seen me.
I'm ready to go, ready.
And I have inferno inside of me. The fire's burning. I wanna be a champion so bad, and you're gonna see how bad in this fight with David Loiseau.
Joined by the natural Randy Couture, of course, Joe Rogan all night long. Randy, we're going to start with you. I want to talk about the mental feeling right now that David Loiseau has. He was beaten up for 25 minutes by Rich Franklin. Unfortunately, you've had defeats in your career. How difficult is that to come back from mentally?
Well, that's a huge blow to your confidence, to train that hard for a championship title fight and to get dominated the way he got dominated against Rich Franklin. I think the pressure is on him tonight to get back in the driver's seat, to be back in contention, and he's got a tough opponent.
You can overcome, though, the mental disappointment, right?
Yeah, absolutely, you can, but it's difficult. It's not easy, and I think that's the task. Can he do it tonight?
And Mike Swick, obviously, Joe, I think he feels like he is the man, Mike Quick Swick. He's very humble, but very determined, and he has really been, as I said before, on a meteoric rise.
Yeah, Mike Swick has momentum in his corner.
Absolutely.
Now. He's winning big against guys like Joe Riggs. I mean, Joe Riggs is a very tough fighter. You know, he's got all this great training behind him with American Kickboxing Academy and so much from all this exposure that he's gotten from the Ultimate Fighter. His confidence is growing, and this is the biggest test of his career, but I think he's ready for it.
Will it be punches in bunches for Mike Swick, or will that lethal Muay Thai elbow open someone up tonight, courtesy of the Crow, David Loiseau? Co-main event of the evening set here at the Pond.
Is a man on a meteoric rise right now. He's got a great camp. Is that your line?
Yeah.
I steal it, dude.
You just
I don't
did.
care. I just Carlos Mencia, your line. He's got fast hands. He's got a great ground game. He comes from a great camp at American Kickboxing Academy. He's such a solid young fighter with intelligence and discipline, and this is a very, very difficult test for him, though.
And you know what? The interesting thing with Mike Swick is, you know, Randy, as he gets set for David Loiseau, David Loiseau's the real deal.
He was the contender, just fought for the title against Rich Franklin. So, I mean, he's got all these skills. You know, the elbows, better elbows than anybody in the business right now. You know, showed a lot of heart and a lot of character in that fight against Franklin, and he's going to need some of that, I think, tonight. This kid, Swick, is out to prove that he deserves to be here. He's not just a fluke from the show.
And he wants to be the first Ultimate Fighter guy
to wear a belt. And obviously you know Mike Swick very well, Randy. You and Chuck were coaches on The Ultimate Fighter 1. And, you know, like Diego Sanchez, Mike Swick says, I'm in this for one reason, and that's to be the world champion. He did not win, as Diego did on the Ultimate Fighter series. He lost to Stephan Bonner, but since that point, he has ripped through Alex Schonauer and Gideon Ray and Stephen Yo and Joe Riggs. He's yet to see the second round since being defeated by Stephan.
One major difference. In the show, he was at 205. Here he's at 185. This is the right weight class for Mike Swick. Tall, rangy, quick hands. He's better on the ground than he is on his feet, and he's knocked more guys out.
Mike Quick Swick set for the biggest fight of his life. Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Looks pretty confident right there. Got a great look in his eyes, Joe.
David Loiseau is very determined. I mean, he's got to be very upset at his performance against Rich Franklin. A lot of people picked him as a favorite going into that fight, and he was dominated. Whether he was dominated because he fell apart under pressure, whether he was dominated because he made errors in training, or he overtrained, or he just faced a better fighter, whatever it is, every great fighter has to experience a loss to come back and be better for it. We're going to see a new David Loiseau tonight. Is he going to be a better David Loiseau, or is he going to be a David Loiseau with a shattered confidence that can't overcome his most devastating defeat?
You see Dean Lister talking to David Loiseau. Loiseau left the French portion of Canada and Quebec and came to San Diego and trained with Dean Lister, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, trained with Brandon Vera. It's kind of like, you teach me striking, I'll teach you the ground game. I don't know if this fight's going down to the ground, Randy, but it is a great man to choose, Dean Lister, to learn jiu-jitsu from.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Dean Lister is one of the best there is, a world champion in grappling and submission fighting. And he shows that in every one of his fights when he steps in this octagon. I don't know if this fight's going to go to the ground either. I mean, Swick has a tendency to be very aggressive, come off, you know, and throw his hands and look to knock out the fight.
Our tale of the tape for this middleweight matchup. The co-main event of the evening is brought to you by Synergy, the ultra premium energy drink from Zions. The French-Canadian Loiseau, 26 years old, 1 year younger than Mike Quick Swick. Mike Quick Swick has a 3-inch reach advantage, and Loiseau, utilizing the elbows, wants to get inside even more so. Will Swick catch him as Loiseau tries to close the distance? Only time will tell. The official introductions of this, our co-main event of the evening, come once again from Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next contest is sponsored by Mickey's Fine Malt Liquor, the official beer of the UFC. Mickey's Got Stung and Amp Mobile, more mobile than you're used to. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, the fighter standing in the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist who holds a professional record of 9 wins with 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 184 pounds. Fighting out of San Jose, California, Mike Quick Swick! And now introducing his opponent standing in the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist who holds a professional record of 14 wins with 5 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 185 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, David the Crow Loiseau. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of this contest is Steve Mazzagatti.
All right, gentlemen, you know the rules. We all expect a good, clean, fair fight. I want you to obey my commands, protect yourself at all times, and most of all, come out ready to fight. Hook 'em up, gentlemen. Good luck.
You know, you try to read a man's facial expressions. It doesn't appear that there's any doubt in the eyes of Mike Swick, or I think more importantly, David the Crow Loiseau. Middleweight matchup, top contender matchup.
You ready? Bring it on!
Will the Crow rise again, or will Swick make quick work of his French-Canadian opponent?
Don't blink while Mike Swick's fighting.
You've got that right. Explodes upon his opponents.
Good body kick by Swick.
I'll tell you what, kick-wise too, watch out for Loiseau. Remember the spinning back kick on Charles McCarthy.
Yeah, Loiseau's got some excellent kicks. He is a black belt in Taekwondo, one of the few who actually uses those Taekwondo techniques in the octagon.
Loiseau looks very flat-footed to me. Planted in the center of the octagon. Not much motion here. Almost to the point of looking a little gun-shy.
Well, and that's what we kind of alluded to. Joe and I talked about it right at the top of the show, Randy. You and I talked about it a moment ago. I mean, once you've been punished like that, it doesn't matter when you step back in. As confident of a man as he is, it's got to be that little bit in the back of your mind going, wow, I was not only conquered, I was dominated.
And he got hurt in that fight.
Yeah,
he definitely got hurt in that fight, and I think that pain always sticks in the back of your mind. Interesting, I think, his approach to go and seek out Dean Lister when the beating he took from Rich Franklin had nothing to do with his ground game. Why not go and improve his striking? That's where he got picked apart, was on his feet. Obviously, he's facing a guy here who's got very, very good hands. But, you know, maybe he was looking for the opportunity to take the fight to the ground, to take it out of that realm of striking, and that's what he's looking for. At least Lister for.
Go hold the fence, David! Don't hold that fence again. Don't hold that fence.
Relax.
There you go.
Mike Goldberg, the natural. Randy Couture, the UFC Hall of Famer. Joe Rogan, glad to be with you here tonight at the sold-out Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim. Loiseau and Swick. Still ahead, our main event of the evening, Matt Hughes and BJ Penn. There's those punches and bunches.
David Loiseau looks very, very tense.
Punches in bunches. Swick with an uppercut. And it seems to me, Randy, that Swick's starting to feel much more comfortable. He senses the doubt, perhaps, in the mind of David Loiseau.
Little bloody nose with Mike Swick, and I didn't see what he got hit with, but he's got a little blood trickling out of his nose.
First time an Ultimate Fighter quits with a bloody nose would be the last time,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. But absolutely, I think Mike Swick senses that David is a little tentative and not getting off. He seems a little gun-shy right now.
Good body kick.
Connected.
Back kick by Mike Swick and another kick to the body.
It appears to me, Joe, that Loiseau was simply waiting for the counter, and perhaps a counter with an elbow to open up the forehead of Mike Swick, but he is not the aggressor here in round one.
I think he's a little gun-shy, and I think he's just waiting to get loose. I mean, it might take a round for him to get loose and get over the fact that he's fighting again. Here he goes. Now he's opening up.
That looks more like the man who earned himself a title shot against Rich Franklin. And with that reach advantage that we talked about, I think it might take a little while for Loiseau to size up Swick with that 3-inch reach advantage.
Well, Swick's very intelligent in the way he strikes, too. He likes to feint. He likes to move in and out. He gives angles.
He sticks and moves. He stays outside and explodes with a whole bunch of punches in his combinations, where David's looking for more of the one shot or two shots. He's not the kind of guy you want to get careless in front of, though. Swick has to be careful not to get over-aggressive.
And David is very dangerous even when he's hurt. We saw that with Rich Franklin. He was being completely dominated, and he still uncorked a left hook that had Rich Franklin really hurt.
Dropped him in the third round of that fight. And amazingly, Loiseau returned to start training 10 days after that fight. It's been about 6 months, and of course Franklin getting healthy for his title defense. Next time we gather on the pay-per-view side after Tito and Kemp fight again on Spike, there's those punches and bunches again. Great combinations followed by a kick.
Very nice combination by Mike Swick.
Did someone say
third nice
takedown? Very nice.
By Swick.
Swick passing the guard. He's inside control. Excuse me, he's in half guard here.
You know what, I was just starting to say, Joe, did somebody tell these guys they're allowed to take the other man down, and then boom, there was the takedown.
Not the back of the head.
See what Swick has on top now, and watch for elbows from the bottom from Loiseau.
Sneaking that leg out. Bang, he's out. Side control, he's got his back.
Don't forget
the Swick here. Loiseau's in trouble
Very
here.
nice. Oh, good job by Loiseau.
Now that is not where he was truly tested on the submissions, but remember, sometimes you go to learn submissions not to submit an opponent, but not to be submitted.
Swick has done his homework. If you watch the Tanner fight, Loiseau gave up his back repeatedly and used that as a way to reverse his opponent and end up on top.
And again, a Charles McCarthy fight.
He saw it coming and he stood up rather than end up on the bottom.
Swick seems like the more explosive fighter here in round one. Fight scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Swick believes he's not that far off from getting a shot at Rich Franklin.
Very
or
impressive
Anderson
round.
Silva.
Very impressive round for Mike Swick, and it doesn't look good for David Loiseau.
He's loosening up a little bit, I think, but still very stiff.
Good job. Massage, I think.
That's the massage. Good.
Randy, you speak French?
Good. You're doing good. You're doing
Je
really
parle
good.
un peu français.
Much more tight.
Very little.
You gotta open up a little bit now, okay? You gotta open up on the second round.
Oh, there we go.
Counter when he starts to get off, okay? You're doing good.
Keep those hands in, Mike.
Right?
Elbows in.
Hey, mix. Hey, Swick. Mix some water. Mix a little water. Hey, mix a little. Keep half going, okay?
Eddie Bravo, your thoughts on round one?
I was a little surprised that Mike Swick took his time to get off early in that round, but midway through that round, he exploded. He had 4 flurries, great combinations. He had 2 turning side kicks, a couple body kicks, had that takedown, passed Loiseau's guard, took his back. Now, although Loiseau did a good job at escaping the back, that round was all Mike Swick, 10-9.
You ready? You ready?
Eddie, thank you very much. Second round, will it be more of the same? Loiseau sooner or later is going to come out more aggressively. This is
There
sooner.
he goes.
Swick wants to push the pace.
Swick threw him off.
Here we go. Now the crowd's getting into it.
Swick showing more and more confidence as this fight goes on.
He is amped up.
Did you mentally, did you see that Mike Swick could develop into a true contender when you coached him? Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. He was one of my top picks for the season 1 show. And I felt like he was at the wrong weight class then, but he had the heart even to hang in there with the 205-pounders like Bonner and Griffin. He is a very, very talented young man.
Competed in various forms of martial arts since he was 8 years old. He's fought from Russia to Thailand tonight here in Orange County. Swick and Loiseau.
Flying knee.
Nothing there. Loiseau recognized it. Jabbing and jabbing, waiting to unload the right if Loiseau drops that left hand, but Loiseau kept the hands in front of the face. Trying to take a page out of Melvin Dillard's book as Swick looks for the body shot.
Check the kick. Nice kick by Loiseau. It's checked by Swick.
Swick, again, I think if there's any cautiousness in the pace that Swick usually utilizes, Joe, it's because he has said over and over again, he doesn't want this fight to end on a cut. And those razor-sharp Muay Thai elbows of Loiseau can end a fight instantaneously.
Yeah, we saw it with Evan Tanner. He's got some really nasty elbows. He just landed a very nice leg kick on Mike Swick, and Mike Swick's leg is reddening up. And another one, same spot. David Loiseau seems to be finding his place here.
Starting to find his rhythm, starting to loosen up a little bit, let some shots go. The kicks are kind of leading the way.
Is it almost mentally, Randy, like we talked about before, that when you start to find your way, as Joe put it, when you start to land the kicks, you kind of say to yourself, all right, I can do this again?
Yeah, absolutely. The more shots he lands, the more he gets into the groove, the more confidence is going to come up, and he'll find a way to get into this fight.
Halfway through our 3 5-minute rounds, under 2.5 minutes remains here in round number 2. The Hall of Famer, the former heavyweight and light heavyweight champion of the UFC, Randy Couture, Joe Rogan, Mike Goldberg. Good leg kick by Mike Swick.
And pretty much checked by Loiseau. Loiseau moving forward a little more than we've seen him in the first round. Swick trying to take a page out of Loiseau's book with the spinning back kick.
Yeah, it looks like he's been
doing that was a nice knee.
Looks like he's trained for that a lot.
Working inside the clinch. 1:45 remains in the second.
We'll watch for the elbow over the top by Loiseau here on this right underhook of Mike Swick's.
Absolutely. This is where he opens people up, and Swick knows.
Takedown attempt by Swick. Nice takedown.
Nicely done.
He's in Loazo's half guard.
This is the first time inside the octagon that we have seen Mike Swick work past the first round.
He'll look for Swick to put his right instep on David Loazo's left thigh and try to squeeze his left leg out of there. He's got a big welt on his left thigh. You can see it from here, from those kicks of David Loazo.
See if Loazo gives up his back again here and uses that as a tactic. He's so good at that.
Would you like to see Swick at a bit higher tempo right now, Randy?
He needs to score here. He needs to really put an exclamation point on this position. Posture up, land some big shots. Little cut on David Loazo on his left eye. It's not bleeding a lot, but it is above the eye, so potentially could cause vision problems.
And don't also think that it's not possible for Loazo to open up Swick from the bottom position. And that's why you see Loazo not really standing up within the guard, Joe, really burying his head on Loazo.
Yeah, we've seen that before. I mean, that's how Joe Riggs beat Chris Lytle. He stopped him from the bottom with an elbow. It is very possible to cut someone badly, and if anybody's going to do it, it's David Loazo.
Little short elbow by Swick there. Trying to trap that bottom hand to clear his hand so he can strike. Here it is, right there.
If nothing else, the control at the end of this second round may give that round in Eddie Bravo's estimation as well. We'll find out in a moment. Once again to Mike Swick.
I think so. We saw a little looser David Loazo. He threw some nice kicks. He landed a couple of nice leg kicks. Mike Swick shut him down with the takedown and controlled him on the top.
Don't forget, coming up next, it is our main event of the evening for the welterweight title. A true grudge match between a future UFC Hall of Famer and that man, Matt Hughes. You are looking live in the locker room right now of Matt Hughes. He has won 6 straight UFC bouts since losing to the prodigy, BJ Penn, the Hawaiian, who cried when he knew he was going to get another chance to defeat Matt Hughes. It's one thing to beat him once. It would be an amazing feat for BJ Penn or anyone in the world to beat Matt Hughes for a second time. Main event still ahead here tonight from the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim. Eddie, your thoughts on the second round?
Well, that was a very, very slow round. Both fighters didn't do much. Loazo landed 3 leg kicks, and Mike Swick had a flurry in the beginning of the round and ended the round with a takedown, and he tried to advance his position. Not much happened, but based on that takedown and the way the end of the round looked, I'm going to give that round again to Mike Swick, 10-9.
Eddie, thank you very much. So far in Eddie's mind, and I think all three of us agree, Swick is in control. Loazo's got to try to explode, and he knows that.
A little more active footwork by Loazo here. Comes right out for the front kick and then tries a high kick, but both missed. Loazo chasing Swick now a little more. He's the most active we've seen him.
And I think there's a certain difference in Swick right now, and it's the respect that he has for Loazo, that he's not as carelessly, if you will, and I don't mean carelessly in a disrespectful way, but carelessly just going for the knockout. He probably felt more confident trying to just take his previous opponents down and finish him.
Very nice takedown. He saw the right hand coming, ducked underneath it. David Loazo's on his back now. Let's see if Mike Swick decides to advance his position here and get out of David Loazo's half guard.
Solid night of fights here tonight in Anaheim. It all began with a just tremendous upset. Joe Lozon over Jens Pulver.
There he goes.
There's GSP, George St. Pierre. Will the crow fall again? So far he has fallen to Mike Swick.
Let's go, Mike.
He cannot afford to spend this round on his back and let Mike Swick control his fight from here. Mike doing a good job to stay just active enough, not taking a lot of risk. Using that half guard, sitting on that bottom leg. David trying to scramble now.
Swick's got a guillotine attempt.
Nope, he lets it go.
Great job done by Swick, and there's the back again, Randy, as you pointed out before.
He is absolutely comfortable giving up against his back, which for most people is the absolute worst place you want your opponent.
Swick's got a hook.
He'll use this to reverse him.
There he does
down
it.
by Loazo.
Yeah, Swick knows. He shakes his finger at him saying, no, 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 I'm not letting you reverse me like that. I seen the tape.
The only title that matters to him is the UFC middleweight title, and he's not stopping until he gets it.
Nice
His only
elbow.
mixed martial arts loss was in a non-Ultimate Fighter fight, a non-UFC fight, to Chris Lieben, the crippler, another candidate for a potential title shot, a little bit further.
Oh, there was the elbow over the top, and 2 more.
And he caught him.
Swick is slowing down just a little bit here. Saw him look at the clock. I think he thinks he has this fight won, but he better not let the pressure off David Loiseau.
Another elbow and a kick.
Look at
those elbows, man. Good body punches by David Loiseau.
Swick better not try to coast this out with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Loiseau is way too dangerous for that.
Loiseau knows he's got to do something.
Loiseau with the takedown, the nice double underhook, body lock. Let's see what Swick does from the bottom.
Look at that welt on Swick's left leg.
That's gonna feel good tomorrow. Swick needs to watch the elbows here. This is not the place you want to hang out with David Loiseau. He will bring big elbows down.
Oh, there it goes. He's got to make sure he's got to hold his position. He's got to posture up and grab a hold of him. He can't let David Loiseau drop these bows on him like that.
He's got to use his feet, create some space, and create a scramble here, or he's going to end up with a nasty cut.
The Crow trying to win this fight in the 3rd round. 90 seconds remains. It is Crow time.
He's back
Scramble
up.
by Swick. Swick needs to unleash here and be offensive, not defensive.
Perhaps he has gassed a little bit. You said his pace, Randy, has slowed Mike Swick's here in round 3.
Another elbow.
And I didn't see it as a function of running out of gas, but he looked like he wanted to coast this fight out. He won 2 rounds in his mind, looking at the clock. He doesn't look fatigued.
He might have been hurt by those elbows. He took a good knee to start it off, a knee against the fence, and then those elbows.
Can Loiseau overcome what seemed to be rounds 1 and rounds 2 won by Mike Swick, though?
Break him up now. Let's see what Swick has.
It's going to be hard. He's going to have to stop him. I mean,
45
Swick does look a little fatigued now. Now he's trying to get some energy back. He needs to be offensive here.
Mike Swick's got to do something if he wants to pull out this round.
30 seconds left. Look for the elbows again and get into this clinch range.
Tried to swing for the fences. Swick.
Nice knee.
David Loiseau seems to be the stronger fighter right now, though. Swick looks like he's fading a little.
But will it be enough?
It's not going to be enough to get a decision, but who knows if he can land something.
There's a takedown that may have saved Swick here right at the end of this round.
That takedown coming off the attempted a very interesting flying knee. Fake with the right, go with the left. We will render the judge's decision. Will Mike Swick remain unbeaten in the Ultimate Fighting Championship? Did he do enough in round 1 and round 2 to earn a decision over David Loiseau? Eddie Bravo, your final thoughts on the fight?
Well, David Loiseau definitely won that last round, but I gave the first 2 rounds to Mike Swick, so unless the judges gave round 2 to David Loiseau, I got Mike Swick 29-28. It's going to be interesting to see how the other judges scored the 2nd round.
Mike Swick hopes that the judges agree with you. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Mike Quick Swick!
Nice job, Eddie. You were all over it, and I think, Randy, you agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. I see it exactly the same way. I think all the judges saw it the same.
An incredible debut here at UFC 63. The Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim sold out tonight for the main event of the evening for the welterweight title. Matt Hughes and BJ Penn. We are set for what we've all come here for tonight. Matt Hughes, BJ Penn 2, if you will. BJ Penn, the victor, shocking quite a few fans with his win a few years back. I'll tell you what, Matt Hughes, since being defeated at UFC 46 by BJ Penn, has not been taken past the first round by Frank Trigg or UFC Hall of Famer Royce Gracie. But believe me when I tell you that Matt Hughes is bothered by the fact that a bit of his invincibility was tarnished, if you will, by the prodigy BJ Penn. BJ Penn can win again tonight. And if he does defeat Matt Hughes again tonight, he will certainly have accomplished a feat unlike any other. He'll be the champion. He'll be the only man ever to defeat Matt Hughes not once, but twice in the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
I'm gonna be the world champ again.
BJ Penn is the new welterweight champion.
Well, there'll be a lot of things different this fight. I win. BJ lose.
That man is as great a champion as we have ever witnessed.
That's the only reason why I'm back here again, to be the world champ.
Look where I am now and look where he's at. You know, he's coming off a loss. You know, I've got the world title.
Matt Hughes, BJ Penn. Hughes wants the takedown. Oh, BJ's got his back.
The choke isn't what beat Matt Hughes. The punch that I hit him on the ground is what beat him.
Oh, he lands a big right hand.
He did hit me with a right hand that dazed me.
I broke my hand on that punch. I hit him so hard.
That's the only reason why he got the choke.
BJ looking for the choke. He's got the choke. He's down. It's over. It's over. We have a new welterweight champion.
The loss to BJ was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. I train a lot more. I'm a lot more dedicated now. I want to be as well-rounded as I can get.
I always thought highly of Matt Hughes' submission skills. I never did think that he was a chump in that area. I mean, let's be real. That's really all he can do, because he ain't gonna knock anybody out.
And don't underestimate my hands. I want to knock people out. That's what I've always wanted to do in the sport, was go out there and use my wrestling defensively, keep people on their feet, and outstrike them.
Once I dominate and get the top position, then it's done. It's over.
I can take him down whenever I want. He's not going to submit me. I can neutralize him on his feet. I go out with the intent of winning.
Is BJ Penn in Matt Hughes' head? Who knows? Does Matt Hughes know BJ Penn is dangerous? He better.
Well, I think in the first round, BJ and know that things aren't the same.
Matt Hughes, I got his number. You know, I'm going to beat him again.
We're both different fighters than when we fought last time.
I'm back to be a world champion. I'm back to get the belt.
The question remains, Joe and the natural Randy Couture, how much better is Matt Hughes since being defeated by BJ Penn?
Well, he's certainly been on fire, and I think that loss refocused him. He's been, man, motivated and just torn everybody up. He's got a big task ahead of him tonight, a very, very talented guy. He's got to not only avenge a loss, but defend his title.
And he will try to do it against the man who defeated him a few years ago, shocked most of us, but not BJ Penn. And when you talk about BJ Penn, Joe, you're talking about truly the prodigy. You're talking about a man who, really, when you break down this fight, probably has more ways in which he can win tonight than Matt Hughes does conversely.
BJ is an excellent striker. He's also incredibly flexible. One of the best things about his jiu-jitsu game is he has incredible dexterity in his legs. You're talking about a guy who can just put his foot behind his head without using his hands. He was a jiu-jitsu world champion after training for 3 years, got his black belt earlier than anybody I've ever heard of. He truly is a prodigy, and he's a very dangerous guy. He's very dangerous coming into this fight with confidence, knowing that he's already defeated Matt Hughes and defeated him decisively.
The welterweight title is on the line, one of the most anticipated rematches in UFC history. What do those celebrities in attendance think is going to happen in a matter of moments?
I think tonight's going to go to Matt Hughes. I think they're both great, tough fighters. It's been a while since I see BJ Penn fight, but I know he's a hard man. But I think tonight, if I have to choose somebody, my man is going to be Matt Hughes.
All I predict for that thing is a great fight. They're two of my good friends, and it's probably one of the best fights that I don't really want to see. So we'll watch them and hope for the best for both of them.
BJ Penn got him once. He knows in his head he could get him again. So that's really exciting. There's a real buzz about it. So, but I got to say Hughes has to be the heavy favorite. You know, he's a tough guy. You see him, he looks like a building. He's like a tank. So I'm looking forward to seeing who wins. But my money's on Hughes.
kilo. The prodigy, B.J. Penn, back to claim what he believes has always been his. The belt at 170 pounds. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, the fastest American ever to achieve black belt status. Former UFC World Welterweight Champion, the first non-Brazilian to win the World Championships in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the black belt level, and the only man in a long, long time to defeat future Hall of Famer Matt Hughes. A determined B.J. Penn set to try to win the title. But destruction using jiu-jitsu. Completely dominated Hoist on the ground.
I don't think anybody expected that.
I mean, that was as thorough a domination as we've ever seen. Matt had won 13 straight fights, 5 title defenses when he lost to B.J. Penn the first time. Since that point, he has torn through Renato Ceruto Verissimo, B.J. Penn's training partner, then George St. Pierre, Frank Trigg, Joe Riggs, the Hall of Famer Hoist Gracie. But today is special for Matt Hughes because he's only lost twice in the octagon. A long time ago to Dennis Hallman, and more recently, January 31st of 2004 at UFC 46 to B.J. Penn. Rich Franklin, Tim Sylvia, all in the corner of Matt Hughes tonight. His twin brother Mark in attendance this evening. There he is, the longtime welterweight champion, Matt Hughes. Completely different demeanors between BJ and Matt Hughes. BJ looks like a caged tiger, and Matt Hughes looks like a calm professional. A guy who's seen it all. This is gonna be great. Can't believe this is my job. Our tale of the tape is brought to you by Zenergy, the ultra premium energy drink from science. Our main event of the evening featuring Hughes and Penn. Hughes is 5 years the elder of B.J. Penn, the prodigy. B.J. 166 and a half, unbelievable at weigh-ins, which may tell us he's in excellent shape, better shape than he was for the St. Pierre fight. He has a reach advantage of 1.5 inches. Let's get it going. The wait is nearly over. Once again, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC championship bout is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission program with Armando Garcia chief. Our judges at Octagon side are Richard Bertrand, Cecil Peoples, and Hector Hernandez. And our doctors are Dr. Van Levens, Paul Wallace, and Diego Allende. When the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon is Big John McCarthy. This event is sponsored by Punishment Athletics and also Zions Zenergy. Zenergy, great taste, extreme energy. And Toyo Tires, the official tire of the UFC, Toyo Tires, driven to perform. Ladies and gentlemen, 2 UFC warriors have now entered the octagon, where tonight they will face off against each other once again to finally prove once and for all who is the true, undisputed UFC welterweight champion. And now, UFC fans, live from the Anaheim Pond in Anaheim, California, it's time! This fight is 5 5-minute rounds for the undisputed UFC welterweight championship of the world. Introducing first, the challenger, standing in the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist who holds a professional record of 11 wins with 3 losses and 1 draw. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 166 1/2 pounds. From Wanaiku, Hilo, Hawaii, ladies and gentlemen, the former UFC welterweight champion of the world, the Prodigy, B.J. Penn! And now introducing the champion, standing in the red corner. This man is a wrestler and an MFS elite fighter. He holds a mixed martial arts record of 41 wins with 4 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Hillsboro, Illinois, he is considered to be the most dominant welterweight fighter in UFC history. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world, Matt Hughes.
Guys, you receive your instructions in the dressing room. Do I have any questions from the challenger? Do I have any questions from the champion? Fight clean, fight hard, fight fair, touch gloves, get back to your corner. Let's go.
Here we go! B.J. Penn! Matt Hughes for the welterweight championship. Wow.
That is a very focused B.J. Penn. He almost looks like he's in a trance out there.
He looks crazy. Will he try to explode on Hughes? Will Hughes try to use his hands?
Hughes very relaxed.
Penn swings for the fences.
Looks like he's faking a shot and coming up and throwing that big left hook. Trying to get Matt to drop his hands on the sprawl.
Matt
Hughes in on the shot.
one leg.
BJ's got incredible balance. Matt trying to drag him over to the fence.
Then he will look to take him down. Well, the more Matt can control, utilize the clinch, the better off one would think he would be. But look how difficult B.J. Penn is to take down by one of the greatest takedown men in UFC history. B.J. avoiding the takedown so far. Matt trying to remain patient, trying to get this fight to the ground.
BJ's incredible balance. He's very, very difficult to take down. I spent a week training with this kid, and he is amazing.
I remember when you first came back from that training and you were absolutely stunned at how good B.J. Penn was, Randy.
And even when you take him down, he's impossible to hold down there. He uses his feet very well. Butterfly guard, he springs back out of the bottom position.
So you had difficulty taking him down, even as big as you are, and he's 166 pounds.
Absolutely.
Wow. And you know what? He was probably less than that at that point, because he was still fighting in the lightweight division.
Yeah, he was coming up to 170 at that time.
Hughes remaining patient, looking in his corner to Rich Franklin. Wow. Pat Miletich in another fight tonight, so unable to corner Matt Hughes. But Rich Franklin's there, Tim Sylvia's around, his brother's there.
Hughes feels confident.
Hughes just ate a big right hand.
Returns fire with 3 nice combinations there.
How frustrating can that be, though, to Matt Hughes trying to jab, but that he couldn't take BJ down? Matt's UFC dream is not just to beat BJ Penn, but to knock somebody out.
Well, he had ill intent on those 2 punches.
First of 5 5-minute rounds. Now, many believe, although BJ came in such good condition.
Good right hand by BJ.
Oh, my! Many believe the deeper it goes, the better it is for Hughes. And if Penn's going to explode, he's going to explode early, as we saw there a moment ago.
Look at the flexibility of BJ Penn.
I think we're going to see BJ try to throw his right leg over and take Matt Hughes' back here.
Unbelievable. It was almost in the full splits here to counter this single leg attempt by Matt Hughes. Very, very flexible knees.
BJ is an absolute wizard on the ground.
It's almost like Matt is putting himself into a triangle. If BJ can get his leg through there. Wow. Very impressive takedown defense by BJ Penn. BJ Penn truly believes he's got Matt Hughes' number, and this is only helping him.
Matt with a smile on his face, but BJ has caught Matt twice. And remember, it was a big right hand that set up the submission. A lot of people talk to me, Randy and Joe, about the fact that Matt Hughes was choked out. Matt Hughes was set up for that choke by a big right hand from BJ Penn.
BJ has heavy hands. You know, ask Dean Thomas about it, ask Kyle Uno, ask any of his knockout victims. BJ's got heavy hands.
He does indeed, and that big right hand came from being on the bottom, standing over Hughes and bringing that all the way down. And dazing him.
And BJ's got crazy power. I mean, BJ's willing to fight heavyweight. I mean, the guy went and fought Machida in Japan. And
that hurt. That hurt.
In the eye. Inadvertent thumb in the eye to Matt Hughes.
Oh, wow.
You see the dizziness in Matt, that flash.
No. Wow.
Oh, no.
John right on top of it. John saw the thumb in the eye.
Let's take a look at the replay. Let's see that.
A little something about that, Randy.
Oh, right in there, no doubt about it. Thumb right in the eyeball.
Well, he'll be able to take as much time as possible.
Unintentional, I'm sure, but...
One of the drawbacks of the fingered glove and not having the thumb loop like a traditional boxing glove is that occasionally you get a finger or a thumb in the eye. It just happens.
Accidental indeed, and BJ even apologized immediately. Watch it again.
Take your time. Tell me what you need.
Boom.
Do you see any solution to that, Randy? Is there any way we could somehow or another tie the thumb to the hand? Or would that just impede the grappling too much?
Yeah, I just think it would limit the grappling too much. It's just a factor in our sport that we got to deal with. Unfortunately, we have experienced referees like Big John who sees things like that. It doesn't get past.
The fight continues. Hughes worked through the kick to the midsection from Trigg. Little thumb in the eye is not going to stop Matt Hughes.
Good knee by BJ and a return knee by Hughes.
Now Hughes turning up the tempo, looking for the takedown. His second takedown attempt here in round 1.
Thumb in the eye always gets your attention.
Randy, you know all about that. You were the victim of one of the weirdest eye injuries ever with that punch from Vitor Belfort.
Yeah, that was a very strange place to receive a cut right on the eyelid. You know, it's just one of those things.
This is twice that Matt Hughes has thought about the takedown, and he hasn't even been close to taking BJ Penn down. Not even close, guys.
This is the best BJ we've seen in a long time.
I think more than anything else, when you see him at 168 yesterday morning before the weigh-ins, you knew that BJ trained for this fight because he gassed out against George St. Pierre. Not so far here in round 1.
Well, that's very interesting, Mike. Let's take a look at the replay here. There's one left hook by BJ and a jab. Matt Hughes smiles, and there's the inadvertent thumb to the eye. What I was going to say, Mike, is that BJ has a different philosophy in training for this fight. He had said that training as a professional fighter burned him out, running in the morning, then training at night, and he decided he wasn't going to do this for this fight.
They call it a Hawaiian approach.
That first was you. Keep those.
Hughes' brother, Jay Penn. They're all BJ. They're all baby. Well, BJ's baby Jay, but they're all Jay Penn. Jay, his brother, is manager, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt as well in the corner. Second round getting set to go. Thank you, Rochelle Leah. First round, BJ Penn. Second round, we'll find out. Main event of the evening here at the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim.
Good body kick by Hughes.
I guess we're going to find out that if Matt Hughes can win by not taking down his opponent. Look at the sprawl again. Matt working diligently. Look at the flexibility of BJ Penn. Look at the
BJ is sprawling with one leg while the other one's tucked underneath him. That's crazy.
And pointing the wrong direction.
Yeah, it's like he's like getting in a heel hook as he's standing.
There's the takedown finally.
Now let's see BJ's back control. BJ immediately goes to rubber guard.
Hughes not only has Penn down for the first time, but he has him shoved up against the fence.
Penn's going to come up.
He's so difficult. As you said, Randy, not only difficult to take down, but difficult to keep down.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard to pass this guard. This is a world-class jiu-jitsu fighter's guard.
Very flexible. I'll try something like that with my knee. I wouldn't walk again.
Randy, I remember when I first met you back at Ultimate Japan years ago in 1997, and you told me for a jiu-jitsu guy, the true sign of a strong jiu-jitsu guy is a man who remains so calm under duress. And that's what you see in BJ Penn, Joe and Randy. You see he's so calm in what should be or could be for many a very precarious situation with Hughes on top of you.
I think these guys have changed hats. We look at the beginning of the fight, before the fight started, Hughes was very calm and composed. BJ looked trance-like, like he was on a cat on a hot tin roof. And now it's changed around. BJ looks very composed and relaxed, and Matt with a little more fervor and a little more activity in his approach here. Combat knee attempt to pass here again by Hughes.
BJ's trying an omoplata on that side. He's trying an omoplata on Matt's right arm. If he can get his right leg out and switch his hips over.
Jiu-Jitsu 101. How can a smaller man defend himself from his back? Royce Gracie and the family mastered it. BJ learned the art pretty quickly, faster than any American.
The contortionist.
Matt fights through it. Fights through the omoplata attempt.
Nice elbow by Hughes on top.
Matt trying to break down BJ here in round two. Don't forget the fight is scheduled for 25 minutes. 5 5-minute rounds. Hughes poked in the eye inadvertently. George St. Pierre, a very, very interested spectator tonight. He will get a shot at the title against the winner of the fight tonight. He's already defeated BJ Penn. He's lost to Matt Hughes.
Left hand, Matt. There you go, buddy.
Big elbows by Hughes.
This is Matt Hughes 101.
Oh, BJ's got his back.
Almost.
He's got his back. Can Hughes scramble?
BJ Penn trying to take the back of Matt Hughes.
So flexible.
He's got the body triangle in. He's locked it in.
This is tough to get out of.
90 seconds remains in round two.
He's going to shake him off. He's too high. BJ's too high. He's going to come over the top, and Hughes is going to end up on top again. Oh, he's crawling back into position now.
What's the approach for Matt Hughes here, Joe?
Matt's got to roll into him. He's got to try to back up and roll into him so that he's in BJ's guard. BJ's just got such powerful, flexible legs. It's so hard to move when you're underneath him.
1 minute, under a minute now remains in the round.
Hughes trying to fight the feet. He's got one hook out. Oh, he puts it right back in.
It's just so hard to combat BJ because you're just not used to a guy who can move his legs like that. BJ can move his legs like another man can move arms.
Hughes can come out, but he may end up in an armbar.
He's got a triangle. He's got a triangle.
From the backside on the top.
Penn,
he's got it deep. He's got it deep.
Finish Matt Hughes and win the
He's got an arm as well. He's got 30 seconds.
Can Matt Hughes survive? 20 seconds remains in round two.
He's got a triangle and he's got an arm bar.
trying to isolate the arm now.
Hughes trying to hold on. 12 more seconds in round 2.
If BJ,
He's gonna get out.
If BJ can pull the head here, he can finish this fight.
Can he put Hughes to sleep?
He's
no, it's not
almost
tight
out.
enough. It's not tight enough.
Hughes is going
End of the round. Unbelievable.
What a fight! Man!
Matt's smiling as he comes to his corner.
He can't be happy.
BJ did look a little tired.
Wow!
Listen to me, DJ. How's your legs? All right. You're winning the fight. Keep the pace, okay?
Eddie Bravo. Eddie Bravo scores it. Penn 10-9, 10-9. Rounds 1 and 2, Eddie gives to BJ Penn. BJ Penn nearly submitting Matt Hughes, but you could see that BJ Penn could barely walk to his own corner at the end of round 2.
When he stood up when they broke him there at the end of the round, he staggered just a little bit as he tried to make his way to his corner. Let's see what Penn has left here.
Remember, as we said before, although rounds 1 and rounds 2 in Eddie's estimation,
Hughes finding his range now. Nice combinations, nice straight punches.
BJ might have burned his legs out with that triangle attempt.
even though rounds 1 and 2 belong to Penn, everybody seems to be on the same page of saying the deeper this fight goes, the better off it will be for Matt Hughes, the cardio freak. Mike Goldberg, Joe Rogan, The Natural, Randy Couture, UFC Hall of Famer. Glad to be with you. Main event tonight from the Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim.
Good leg kick by Matt Hughes.
That was a chopping leg kick right there.
Very nice.
Hughes is so relaxed and so composed. Nearly defeated, as was the case against Frank Trigg in their second matchup.
Boy, Hughes is really opening up. He smells the fatigue, I think, in BJ Penn.
I remember I asked Frank Trigg, I go, how come you couldn't choke him out when he was out of it? He goes, because when I grabbed the neck of Matt Hughes, it was like grabbing a concrete block.
Yeah, he's got a horse neck for sure.
Oh, nice left hook.
BJ's just standing right in front of him.
And BJ looks fatigued. BJ does not look unlike he did against George St. Pierre come the later rounds.
Mouth
BJ's
open.
hands are starting to fall.
Hands are down, mouth open. Traditional signs of fatigue here by BJ Penn. No footwork at all. Ducks his head. Hughes is picking him apart.
And he's got 2 more rounds to go.
That's why you train for a 25-minute fight.
Nice uppercuts.
Matt Hughes starting to take control.
BJ has nothing left for a shot. I think Matt's crazy to go to the mat here. He needs to stand up.
Matt Hughes trying to take the back of BJ Penn.
Needs to stand up.
Stand up.
Rich Franklin saying the same exact thing as you, Randy. Stand up.
What a victory this would be, though, if Matt can dominate him on the ground. If Matt can pass BJ's guard and take advantage of his fatigue, that would really add humiliation to this victory.
The greatest weapon a fighter can have is cardio.
To the mount.
He's passing.
Almost.
He's got half guard.
Watch for the elbows here now. Hughes is going to bring big elbows from this position. There's the far side, Americana.
He likes the Kimura. He's gotten it from half guard before. He got it on Joe Riggs.
Now, did you see the technique Matt used there? He covered BJ's mouth to disrupt his breathing. He's doing it again. Just trying to disrupt the breathing of BJ Penn. BJ did it to Matt earlier in the fight.
An old Maurice Smith trick. Covering the mouth.
Matt Hughes, BJ Penn. 3rd round. Fight scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
He's passed now. He's in cross-side position. Trying to isolate BJ's head so he can land some clean shots.
It's going to be very hard for a fatigued BJ to get out of this spot.
He's going to trap that other arm now with his legs, and now BJ's face is going to be open.
This is how
Matt Hughes trying to finish it here in the 3rd.
This is how Matt Hughes.
Top of the action.
This is how he finished off Carlos Newton. He loves this position.
It's a crucifix, kind of a reverse crucifix, and he just pounds away at his face. BJ wants to get out of that. He can't find a way to get out.
Hughes continuing to throw down right hands on Penn.
BJ must be able to defend himself or this fight will be stopped.
John McCarthy asking BJ, come on, you gotta move. Here's the elbows.
This fight is dangerously close to being stopped.
Hughes trying to finish it here in the third.
Asking him to get out, but that arm is trapped between Matt Hughes' legs. There's the end of the fight.
It is all over. Matt Hughes remains the welterweight champion.
Wow.
Hughes looked at Dana and pointed and said, I told you.
Matt Hughes loves that position. As we said, he finished off Carlos Newton in that very same spot. How sweet is that victory for Matt Hughes?
Cardio, boys, cardio. Third round referee stoppage. Matt Hughes retains his welterweight title. BJ Penn was so close to finishing the fight in the second round.
So
but you know what? So was Frank Trigg.
BJ was a lot closer. He had his back, he had that triangle locked in.
The arm isolated.
I think he just blew his wad there.
You beat him up.
Wad of cash, you're allowed to say that.
Thank you.
It's a gambling term, sir. Get your mind out of the gutter.
It wasn't there. It was Randy who looked at you weird. It wasn't me.
Randy's too wholesome to stand next to me. I gotta go in the ring.
Captain America. Congratulations to Matt Hughes. Absolutely exhausted, but retaining his title. Matt Hughes, future UFC Hall of Famer. Dana White just said, you are the greatest champion ever. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 3 minutes, 53 seconds of the third round, referee John McCarthy has called a stop to this contest, declaring the winner by TKO and still the undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world, Matt Hughes.
Matt Hughes, so dangerously close to losing again, and somehow he survived. Here's Joe.
All right, I am here with the champ. Now, Matt, this has got to be your most satisfying victory ever.
Yes, it is. I kind of wish BJ was in shape to go 5 rounds. I was looking for 5 rounds. But he either couldn't keep up with my power or he just wasn't in shape. So there you go.
How close was he to finishing that triangle in the second round?
I tell you, the arm bar was more severe than the triangle was. But, you know, BJ's a heck of a fighter. My hat's off to him. I knew that I'd lost the first 2 rounds, but that meant I had 3 left over, so I knew I had a chance.
Were you surprised at how difficult he was to take down, or were you just concerned with keeping the pressure on and wearing him out?
No, I wanted to take him to the ground. I was very surprised that I couldn't, but I knew I had all my guys in my corner. They weren't with me, but they were in my heart, just like the Lord Jesus Christ was with me, so I had no doubt.
Matt, very impressive victory. Please look up at the big screen and talk us through the Mickey's replay here.
Well, I had his arms pinned like I did Carlos Newton over in England. And so he really couldn't defend himself. I just kept wondering what took Big John so long to get in there and stop it.
Do you feel that your conditioning is what won you this fight?
I think my conditioning was better than BJ's, yes.
Fantastic victory. You are the champ. What else is there for you to do in this sport? You've already beaten most of the top contenders now. You crushed the legend in Royce Gracie. Now you finally vindicated yourself in beating the only man to take your title. What is next for you, Matt?
Well, the next is another guy on the opposite side of the octagon. I tell you, it sounds like it's going to be George St. Pierre. I hope he trains hard. You know, I once said that I couldn't beat Frank Trigg better than I beat him the first time, but I did that time as well. So
you know, George is next in line, so let's go.
Well, congratulations on the most impressive victory. All right, here's George.
I'm very glad you won that fight, Matt, but I'm not impressed by your performance, and I look forward to fight you in the near future.
What do you have to say to that, man?
That's his opinion. It might stink, but it's his opinion.
Well, I'm sure you just want to soak up this victory now and think about nothing but that for a little bit and relax and get back to training.
Okay, thank you.
Matt Hughes, ladies and gentlemen.
Randy, the Natural Couture, what a win. And up next is George St. Pierre. But first things first, Matt Hughes survived and then he finished.
Absolutely, and absolutely right. Conditioning was the name of the game here. BJ took this on what I call short notice. 6 weeks, he substituted in for George when George pulled his groin. And I thought this would be the difference in the fight, was whether or not he could weather it. And we saw BJ not in the best of shape when he fought George. He dominated the first round and ran out of gas.
Ran out of gas again. You could see at the end of the second round after he tried to submit Matt Hughes, he was out of gas. But early, it was all BJ Penn.
Absolutely. Nice straight shots. Some good punching. A lot of activity. The thumb in the eye. Absolutely accidental. It happens.
How about working through that? And then in round two,
the
as Matt Hughes said, it was just crazy.
Flexibility and balance of BJ Penn is phenomenal. And the perseverance of Matt Hughes to follow through and finally get that takedown. But give up his back in the process. Hughes working now out of this very strange triangle. But as he said, the armbar a little more threatening than the triangle choke from here.
And then in round three, you could tell BJ Penn was done. His hands were down. Matt set him up with some shots, good striking, and then once he gains control, side control and then the mount, that's pretty much the beginning of the end.
He's got that great wrestler's base he's hard to get out from underneath of.
John McCarthy stops the fight. Matt Hughes. I'll tell you what, Joe Rogan, what a magical night of fights. Take a look at our submission of the night, brought to you by our good friends at Tap Out. Tap Out clothing wear at inyourface.com. Tyson Griffin with the stoppage of David Lee, our submission of the night.
Beautiful rear naked choke administered by Tyson Griffin. He got David Lee's back and finished off the job with a body triangle, squoze it down, flattened him out, sunk in the choke, and eventually David Lee was forced to tap for the submission of the night.
Submission of the night brought to you by our friends at Tap Out. Tap Out clothing wear at inyourface.com. We had a shocker, and then we had a shocking comeback. The shocker was the first fight of the night. Joe Lauzon upsetting Little Evil Jens Pulver.
Biggest upset of the night, 7-1 underdog. Joe Lauzon destroyed Jens Pulver, 48 seconds, incredible knockout. Rocked him with a left hook, finished off the job. No one expected that, and props to Joe Lauzon.
I'll tell you what, great job, though, done by Matt Hughes. He survived, and I mean survived the second round, but did we ever doubt the heart and the courage and the cardio of Matt Hughes?
Well, that's what a champion is all about. That's what being a champion is all about. It's conditioning, the full commitment, and Matt Hughes came in incredible shape. He was able to weather the storm. He was in really difficult positions, very close to being caught in a triangle. He had his back taken, very close to being caught in an arm bar, but his conditioning pulled that fight out. That and his incredible power, the physical power that he has, just wears out opponents. They're just not used to it, and that's what happened in BJ Penn.
As you mentioned, Joe, George St. Pierre angered Matt Hughes by saying he was unimpressed with the performance. I think Matt did not have much motivation, at least he said, to beat St. Pierre again because he did it already once, but after that comment, I think the motivation is now there.
Well, for sure. You know, George said that to hype up the fight. George is a very nice, very polite guy. He's just trying to use American salesmanship, and that's what he's doing. And, you know, he was genuinely upset that Matt was upset. He tried to apologize. He's like, I'm trying to sell the fight. Don't you want more pay-per-view seats? But Matt took it very seriously.
Well, Matt Hughes took BJ Penn very seriously. BJ Penn's cardio was not there. Matt Hughes retains his title tonight here in the sold-out Arrowhead Pond of Anaheim. A tremendous night of fighting once again, courtesy of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. It was a night with great anticipation this evening here in Anaheim. The anticipation was for the return of that man, Little Evil, but fear no evil did Joe Lauzon, and shock the world he did. Our executive producers of the UFC, Frank Fertitta III, Lorenzo Fertitta, and UFC President Dana White. Supervising producer Craig Borsari.
A great job done by Tim O'Toole. And in the truck, none other than Bruce Connell and our fine director, Anthony Pasquale Giordano. Alan Connell keeps it all together. And Joe Silva, our VP of Talent Relations. Put back on your shirt, Rob Schneider. Put back on your belt, someday perhaps, for Melvin Gillard. The sights were abundant. The scenes were undeniable. Mike Quick Swick, a huge victory over David the Crow Loiseau. Loiseau could not get engaged early, and in the end, he lost round 2. He lost round 1. He won round 3, but he lost the fight. The Crow lands again, and Mike Swick continues, as we talked about all night, to be on his meteoric rise to the top. Mike Swick winning the decision, moving one step closer to a potential title shot against Anderson Silva or the champion, Rich Franklin. Speaking of champions, there is none better than that man, Matt Hughes. You know what? Tito might have disagreed. BJ might have been in control early, but in the end, it was the one, the only. Farm boy from Hillsboro, Illinois, who would overcome the thumb in the eye, overcome a wonderful submission attempt by BJ Penn, and out-battle him and out-cardio him in the end, taking that one step as if he needed to closer to the UFC Hall of Fame. For Randy Couture, Joe Rogan, Mike Goldberg saying so long. I hope you've enjoyed it again. We'll see you down the road.
The fight against Franklin, yes, I lost, but I know for a fact right now that everyone that signs to fight me knows they're getting themselves into a war, you know. That's what I learned from the fight, you know, just keep going no matter what. And, you know, you'll get your respect no matter what.
30 seconds. Time.
Fighting is the type of thing that sometimes you learn more about yourself and what you're made of than anything else. That's probably why a lot of guys do this sport. This game is 95% mental. And I think that fight with Franklin has taken David to another level.
Obviously, he buckled a little bit with the Franklin fight and the pressure got to him. I don't know why. You know, it could be because it was a big title fight for him. It could be maybe he feared Franklin. You know, Franklin has a very good resume. I don't know what it is. I mean, I'm going into this fight expecting him to be rebounding from that fight with motivation and determination to make a point with me. There's one of two things that can happen coming off of a loss like that. It can mentally affect you, and it can, you know, make his performance worse in this fight, or it can motivate him to fight harder. Two choices he's got, and I'm assuming he's going to take the second and come in there strong. For this fight, I just worked on everything. You know, I think the way to beat Loiseau is to just work on being more well-rounded at everything because, you know, I think he's less well-rounded in certain aspects of his ground game compared to his stand-up and, you know, pressure, different things. So I worked on pretty much everything. I mean, it's the most I did and trained for any fight so far. So hopefully it was enough. And since it's 3 months after, did it work? I mean, you watching at home, did it work? Did I win? Let me know, because right now I don't know. I really want to know. I'm excited, but I have no idea. You know right now, I don't. I'm stuck in this frame.
I got a phone call, said that George was injured and that BJ might be taking his place. It's a great opportunity for me. I get to get some revenge back, but by no means do I have to beat BJ Penn to get on with my life and to be the most dominant world champion. Now that doesn't mean I don't want to. I don't have the desire to get back at him, but you know, I didn't ask for this fight. Am I glad it happened for me? Very much so.
Are we going to wrap your hands?
We're gonna wrap it. Okay.
155. I heard St. Pierre was hurt, and I couldn't sleep at night for some reason. I really didn't think I was gonna get the fight because that kind of stuff never happens, you know, where you're in for the title shot, you know. So I was just up and I just couldn't sleep for days. And then one time my brother calls me. He's like, "It's on." I'm like, "What's on?" He's like, "The fight. You got it." I was, you know, just overwhelmed with joy. I think cried a little and just thought I'm gonna be the champ again.
I like the fight.
That's what he's been for the last 4 weeks. Well, he came here looking good. That's good, man. Good job, baby.
That's my weight. That's my fighting weight. I need 178. If I would have got the nod on St. Pierre on that fight, I don't sit here and say St. Pierre won the fight, he kicked my ass or this and that. None of that do I feel like that in any way. But if I would have got that nod, I would have did the same thing with Hughes, you know. And that BJ Penn who would have went in there would have made a very big mistake to go in and fight Hughes like that. It's such a great opportunity, and it's not written yet, so I have to go and make the most out of this opportunity for my career and for my life.
When I found out about George getting hurt and BJ filling the spot, there wasn't much change because they're very similar. I think BJ's actually a better fighter than George is, to be honest. I think if BJ was in shape, he would have won that fight. Last night, I left the practice room a pound and a half over, but I wanted to eat. You know, you got to have energy for the next day. So I ate fruit, came in this morning, 3.5 pounds over. I actually thought I'd be lighter than what I was, to be honest.
Perfect.
You're done. Perfect. Right on the money. Made weight.
185 on the money. Look at that. Ding. Down to a science. Down to a science. I'm gonna be playing mind games at the weigh-in. I always pretend to be drinking a lot more than I actually am, so that my opponent thinks that I'm just not dehydrated, not cutting at all. Another good aspect of having a great team is, you know, they help in keeping you relaxed for fights, you know, and very supportive. And, you know, it's good to have like a family when you travel and when you fight versus, you know, just being by yourself or whatever the case. The guys I train with and my instructors are really cool guys. We get along really good and we have a fun time, you know, whether we're playing video games or going out, hanging out, or we're training. So it's really good that when I come here, you know, the training starts slacking off, but then we have the other, you know, qualities that kick in and take me out of the fight for a while, and I can relax and focus and get ready for the fight.
We go weigh in around 3 or 4. Once we make weight, rehydrate, eat, then we rest. Then we have at least 2 or 3 meals after the weigh-in. By the time it's fight time, you know, all we need to do is fight. So basically, we don't need to think about it too much. We should just relax and let the body speak for itself at night, on fight night.
You have no idea the excitement I have right now. Wazoo.
Look, nothing but respect, baby. It's gonna be a good one.
That's when the process starts, the weigh-ins. You know, that's when you first, to me, that's when the nerves really start that day. You'll get a couple rushes. You know it's close, you're excited. You know, I just get a feel of my opponent, you know, and I can tell a lot from actions, and so it's fun to kind of see how he's acting and where his head is, and that starts the reality of what's gonna happen.
It's a very good matchup. You know, we're both explosive stand-up fighters, and it's a crowd pleaser. You know, it's a fight that the crowd will love.
Shirts. Who wants shirts, baby? Extra large. The fans are very important to me. Without the fans, I don't have a job, and I totally understand that. And I mean, I love the fans for sure. And the support I get is overwhelming, especially from the troops too that are in Afghanistan and Iraq. I get a lot of stories from fans of how I help inspire them to do different things, be it that they're a fighter or, you know, in their professional life, whatever it is. And it really makes you feel good that you're actually doing something that can actually make a difference to somebody.
Fan support is everything, especially when you go to different places and people are like, hey, I really want you to win this fight, you know, and then they're really dead serious about it, and it means a lot. That's who you do it for. Of course, I do it for myself, but, you know, you'd be crazy to think you're not doing it for them too.
I love the fans, and the fans are great. The fans are the people that actually pay my paycheck, but there are certain situations where I'm with my family, or I've got to go do something where I can't sit and sign 20, 30 autographs. You know, I try and be as polite as I can, but you just can't do it all the time. It's not that I don't like the public, but you know, when I'm with my family, I want to spend time with my family.
How cute is that?
She's a cutie.
Congratulations.
Since I've had my daughter 2 months ago, no, I don't want to leave as much. I want to feed my baby. I like changing her diapers, to be honest. I mean, I like being the dad. So, yeah, I want to stick around. I want to be with my wife and do my part of raising the child. But I can't let that affect me right now. There's going to be plenty of time down the road for me to spend with my daughter. You know, I need to keep realizing what got me where I'm at now.
I started feeling that I was getting burnt out so fast. Like, for years already, this has been happening. I think the first time I ever got burnt out was before the Jens Pulver fight. Then I came back and trained harder, and it just doesn't help you. You just want your brain to just be, you know what I mean? Be yourself, be natural. For me personally, I don't have to want to do all these different things, you know? Or you wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and you go running and you do this and that and that. For me, that doesn't make sense. I'm always confident in all of my fights, you know. Forget about the last fight that me and Matt Hughes fought. That thing doesn't even exist anymore. This is a whole different fight, two whole different people. I mean, it doesn't even matter. This fight, I mean, I'm not gonna try to go out there and top what I did here or put pressure on myself that I gotta win because of this and that. You know, it's just, you know, I think that's really what separates me from the other fighters is I really believe I can do all these things, you know. They question it in their mind, they wonder if they can do it, and they don't know they can do it until it happens or something, and I really believe it can happen.
184.
Mike Swick, 184. And his opponent for the evening, David Loiseau.
85.5.
That's David Loiseau and Mike Swick. 3 rounds in the middleweight division. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for our main event of the evening, featuring BJ Penn and Matt Hughes.
166.5.
BJ Penn, 166.5. And coming into the stage, the UFC welterweight champion, Matt Hughes.
170.
Matt Hughes, 170. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Hughes and BJ Penn, 5 rounds for the UFC welterweight title.
So I just weighed in on weight. I've ate a protein bar, something solid, and then I had a lot of fruit.
Just an orange. It's exciting.
Now I'm gonna go meet with my family and friends and go get a good meal in me and relax the rest of the night.
Terry chicken, brown rice, and broccoli. I thought it'd at least be 167. But maybe because I really couldn't drink too much water because I had to make sure I stayed under 170, you know, so either way we gotta fight.
If we can't go in the octagon, what time do you want to be there at?
I don't care. I just soon sit here and play cards for a little. This is just like the wrestling days in the Fury again. Why not? Oh. No. Not you.
Well, my team is very important to me. We're a family up in Iowa. I've always either got Tim Sylvia or Spencer Fisher. Now I've got Jim's Pulver. We've got such a wealth of guys up there that there's always somebody on the card. That means you get extra cornermen backstage. It's big, you know, because we support each other, and that's where we get our strength from, is our support.
I'm fighting this fight hoping that a good performance and a win would get me a title shot. I'm not looking past Loazo. I only look at one opponent at a time. But, you know, the motivation that I have to win this fight and do so well is because I want to keep moving up the ladder. And if I want a title shot and, you know, I want to be the champion, I must beat David Loazo. And that's exactly what I plan to do.
I feel great. My team and I are ready to go. We're going to go to the arena right now. We'll be ready. We'll be in the locker room here in a little bit.
Fight day, wake up, possible, because I'm going to be so excited. You know, I want to go out. I want to be a champion already. I'm going to be excited. I know what's going to happen tonight. It's just time to be honest with yourself and with everything and let all the go. It's about honesty after that point. Just go and almost like ready to die. Tell anybody, but you know, it's just about being honest right there with yourself.
I think my determination and my heart is one of my biggest assets going into fights. I mean, you could say I haven't used it in my first 4 UFC fights, but I've definitely used it in the past. I mean, I've had 21 amateur fights and 11 pro fights, I think, and I've definitely had to rely on my heart a few times to get a win. You know, I want to win more than anything in the world, so that's what's going to kick in when it gets into the later rounds and, you know, if I get hurt. I mean, I think my strongest asset hasn't even been put to use yet, so, I mean, this could be the fight to do that.
Like, Swick is very talented, but the lack of high caliber competition. My last 2 fights are against Rich Franklin and Evan Tanner. I fought a lot of top competition, and you know, he hasn't. He fought once Chris Leben, and he got knocked out.
I think my strengths match up well against a lot of people, including David. A lot of fighters, it's hard for them to deal with the aggression of someone being on them constantly, putting that pressure, and that's where I get a lot of people to buckle. I think he doesn't handle pressure very well. You know, Franklin put a lot of pressure and kind of buckled him and shut him down. I think Loazo has a lot of good strengths. I think his elbows, you know, has been a huge factor in some of his wins. I think he's won fights that he probably wouldn't have without his elbows, but it's a legitimate move and he's good at it. He's got very good elbows, very good kicks. I think those 2 are his biggest assets.
Elbows are very dangerous weapons, you know. I was blessed with the ability to throw them extremely fast, faster than anyone I've seen so far. So I don't know why, but I guess it's a blessing. I train hard. I train everything hard, but the elbows came out very naturally.
Nothing fancy today. Today it's a fight. You're gonna show them a fight.
I guess the one ritual that I have is I always sit in the locker room and I think about where I came from and the things that's brought me where I'm at today. I think about things that motivate me, things that make me hungry, make me want to win. And I have a great process of doing that. So far, like I said before, I do it just right every time. I'm always worried it's not going to work out right, but I do it just enough to get me right to that point where I'm full motivation. You know, I'm ready, I'm determined, I'm focused, and I'm strong when I walk out. As I leave the locker room and start walking out, the nerves disappear. You know, it's kind of past the point of no return. You're going now. And then I just try to get as focused as I can, calm but focused. It's kind of hard to describe. I want to get amped and excited, but calm at the same time, so that I'm excited to get out there. I do what I need to do, but I'm not clogging my mind with all these thoughts. You know, I want to focus on one thing only, and that's what our game plan was and how to beat, you know, my opponent.
We're up. No giving up.
When I walk out to the octagon, I'm just very calm and just staying relaxed and focused. I don't think about anything, I just relax. That's the most important thing, not to think too much and be relaxed.
job, man. Good job, man. Come on. Keep working. Get that blood flowing. Get that blood flowing.
Coming in this fight, I think I definitely need to work on my hands. BJ's a good boxer with quick speed. So I've got a great coach. We've been working on some angles to stay in the fight, boxing-wise, and I think BJ is going to be a little bit surprised.
Matt Hughes is very good at avoiding getting hit, but he doesn't like it at all. But I think that's the recipe for why Matt Hughes is stuck around so long. He doesn't wake up one day and he's too scared to wake up one day and be like, oh, I'm a kickboxer today, I'm gonna slug it out with somebody. So he's always done the same thing and he's never changed. He doesn't have very many tools, he doesn't have very many options. You know what he's gonna do, I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna try to take me down, he's gonna try to push me to the fence, he's gonna try to elbow me, he's gonna try to cut me, he's gonna try to roughhouse me like that.
How's it going? See you. Ready to roll?
Ready to roll.
Good, man. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Bring that Hawaiian power.
That's what we're doing, so what's gonna happen.
Cool. Take it easy.
Okay. You know, I'm so comfortable with my brothers and Rudy here, because there's people that I can relate to, you know. I can talk with them and can talk about helo, we can talk about surfing, can talk about different types of things, and my brothers will be taking care of stuff for me. If, you know, when oh, my shirt's not made for this, or go get me some food and help me out, and yeah, and just the camaraderie of just friends and brothers and family and stuff. It's gonna be relaxing, huh?
BJ's strengths would definitely be his hand speed. He's very athletic, got quick, strong hips, and he's very knowledgeable on the ground. And his downside is I think he's going to be small and weak, you know, and I don't think his endurance is going to keep up with mine. Me being the bigger, stronger guy, I think I can get him on the ground, make him carry my weight, and he's going to wear out.
I'm 167 pounds. I think Matt Hughes is expecting someone who's fast, but he's not going to realize how fast I am now. I'm going to be strong. It's not like I'm a weakling, you know. I'm going to be strong and I'm going to be flexible. That's why I feel so good.
I'm a big believer in this sport is half mental and half physical. You know, I don't think there's any situations out there that I really can't find some type of way out. I always keep in the back of my mind, to every move there's a counter, and to every counter there's a counter. So no matter what my opponent does, there's a way out. I just got to be able to find it.
In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Amen.
I feel good, baby. I feel good.
I feel good too. Hughes boys going into the...
When I'm walking out to the octagon, it's just, I don't know. I don't even know what's going through my mind every time I do it. It's just all the emotions and everything at one time. Could laugh, could cry. Best part about fighting is walking in. That's the best part, because it's unbelievable, you know you're getting ready to do something serious.
Well, the walkout is kind of interesting. That would probably be one of the big highs in the sport. Actually, you know, you're walking out, you're going to the octagon. It's a part, you know, emotion to where you've got all these crowd that wants to see you compete, and then you've got that one competitor in there that wants to knock your head off. So at the same time that you get all this respect, you're a little worried that this opponent might get his way, you know. So your emotions are kind of split up there. But you know, I've got my cornerman there. You know, and I hug my cornerman and I walk in the octagon, and then I get my game face on, you know, and then I actually start to get mad that my opponent actually thinks he's going to beat me that night.
Whatever you want to do. Man, that was a fight. That was a fight. Son of a bitch, did I look ugly? Yeah, I didn't make it out half bad. Holy look at that. You're still pretty. Not used to getting hit.
That too, but man, he did it excessively, and then this hand I think might be blocked. Punching him in his elbow, he blocked with his elbow. I was trying to come underneath his elbows and uppercut him, and I was landing right on the tip of his elbow. So I definitely either got soft tissue damage or broke something. Just throbbing. Just relax. We knew he covered up. I was hoping he covered up more here, and I was going to throw the kick, which I tried to land. He actually covered up better than I thought. He covered his whole head pretty well, and I started to do uppercuts. I was going to try to go around the hands, and when I threw the uppercut, I think I was hitting his elbows here. So after a while, it was just kind of pointless punching him in the face, you know, because he was covering up so well.
That's one thing I'm good at. Defense You know, you can hit me a lot, but doesn't mean you're gonna connect every shot. You know.
He threw more punches. That gave you the round. That's right. He threw more punches. He was more busy. You blocked him, and he took you down. And you got.
I thought I won the first round. Man.
Look, you know what? It was close, but at the end he threw more punches. It was when you decided to take a risk. There's reward in risk. There's reward in risk.
Third round, I made it a fight. I just went out there and fought my heart out, and I thought the ref was gonna stop the fight when I was on top because Mike was just laying there. He wasn't out, but he wasn't defending himself. He was just like laying there. So I thought the ref was gonna stop it, but he didn't. And they gave the decision to Mike. I believe he earned the decision, and that's it. You know.
I was in danger for a second. I got up the last time. I was like, I had Dave on my mind. I was like, get the hell out of there. I was gonna go for a triangle. I was like, nah, those elbows are no joke. The last round, man, the thing is, I think my strongest quality is I'm tough, man. I really am, and I'm mentally strong. I'm not gonna quit. Losing is death to me, and I had to prove it because he was coming on strong, and I'm not gonna quit. So it's like either lay there and just take a beating or try to get up and push the pace, and that's what I did. You know, I had to do what it took to win. It's my 5th UFC fight, my 5th win in a row over David Loiseau. I'm mesmerized, man. I don't even feel like. The other day I was fighting the small shows. I dreamed of being in the UFC, and now I'm 5-0 in the UFC with a win over one of the top contenders. It's surreal. I'm speechless, man. It's just one of the best feelings in the world. I don't know if I deserve it, but I'm gonna take it.
Don't give him a break! Don't give him a break! He wants a break!
I'm very happy Matt Hughes won that fight because that's the guy that I want to fight. BJ came he started very strong in that fight, but he gave up. Sometimes art beats skill, and that's what happened right now.
What is next for you, Matt?
Well, the next is another guy on the opposite side of the octagon. I tell you, it sounds like it's going to be George St. Pierre. I hope he trains hard. You know, I once said that I couldn't beat Frank Trigg better than I beat him the first time, but I did that time as well. So, you know, George is next in line. So let's go.
Well, congratulations on a most impressive victory. All right, here's George.
I'm very glad you won that fight, Matt, but I'm not impressed by your performance, and I look forward to fight you in the near future.
With George's comments, I really didn't pay much attention. He did say he was unimpressed with my performance, but I finished BJ Penn within 3 rounds, and he didn't. First round, when I went, to fast forward, I thought I lost that round. He had quick strikes, very good takedown defense. I mean, when I get on somebody's legs, I can usually take him down. But there was that little lip next to the octagon, and he was able to kind of put his foot there, and I couldn't scoop his foot away. And he's just an athlete, he is. So, I mean, he did great. But I tell you what, I was not disappointed. After that round, I remember walking back, and I was smiling. I mean, I knew that the BJ level of energy was just going to go down, 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 down. So, I mean, I kind of knew in my mind that I could lose the first round, and I didn't worry about it. Well, he did have the triangle pretty tight, and I was able to reach my arm up or hand up and kind of pull his leg and give my blood a chance to go up to my head. And then he kind of cranked on my arm, and I did hear it kind of popping a little bit. Nothing serious. And I just tried to relax as much as I could, and I actually said a prayer real quick.
It's important for me.
Okay.
Look, I apologize. I misunderstood. I thought you were talking about me because everybody told me, hey, come. So I thought you were talking about me. It's not right what I did, and I apologize like a man, but I still want your belt.
George, get in line.
Congratulations.
You know, after I won the fight and I was in the locker room, he come in there and wanted to apologize because he thought that I was talking about him out there. So I mean, he was just misunderstood. And then I mean, I like George. He's a great guy. He is. And so I think he makes it, you know, he would be a good champion. If I would happen to lose to somebody, I would much rather it be George than BJ.